I have been putting this one off because I know it's going to take forever, so I'm going to go season by season because they really have enough drama to be stretched out through the entire show and the movies. Carrie and Big is somehow the longest lasting relationship on the show despite how tumultuous it was. I would even dare to call them struggle love personified. Yet the show wants us to view this relationship as some Shakespearean epic love story where despite years of bad communication, public fights...
I hate waiting here for you.
Oh, don't be pissed.
I'm pissed.
Are we dating? I thought we were just sleeping together.
You string me along for 2 years and then you marry some 25-year-old girl after only 5 months?
Wait.
What is it?
You and
I, nothing!
Enjoy your dinner. Oh, already said that. Well, do it twice.
You're embarrassing me.
I'm embarrassing you? Well, maybe if you join me on the terrace like a gentleman, we wouldn't be standing here having this conversation.
Domestic violence, cheating, Julia Woods.
This is Julia Woods.
Quiet, nice. I want you to meet someone very special. Julia.
A Judith Lieber purse, a botched wedding,
He's not coming.
a television,
A state-of-the-art flat screen.
and ultimately, a Peloton. They were somehow endgame. In short, the person Carrie is referring to in this iconic monologue.
I am someone who is looking for love. Real love. Ridiculous, inconvenient, consuming, can't live without each other love.
I have a personal theory as to why she selected Big, played by Chris Noth, to be her forever person on the show. It's the same reason why I think John Corbett, who plays Aiden, keeps coming back to reprise his role as the ultra simp. Side note, I think she has way more chemistry with Aiden than Big. Me thinks that this off-screen attraction is mutual. But anyways, let's just jump right into it because I have to do this for each season, each film, and that goddamn revival. We're gonna be here for a while. Okay, so let's just get this out of the way. If Carrie actually learned her lesson with this Kurt guy and not made a fourth mistake with him, then she never would have bumped into Big and began this merry-go-round of mess. She really should have just listened to Stan. After receiving some sloppy toppy from Kurt, Carrie immediately ditches him in her quest to have sex like a man devoid of feelings or attachment.
My turn.
I have to go back to work, but I'll give you a call. Maybe we can do it again sometime.
While she's feeling herself, someone slams into her and she drops her bag. Big helps by picking up only 2 of her things in a somewhat judgmental fashion. Ew, you're a woman and you have condoms and lipstick in your bag? Gross. But Carrie laps up the attention and is happy to see that he isn't wearing a ring. This awkward encounter leaves Carrie completely sprung. Later, she sees him at a bar when Samantha points him out.
He's the next Donald Trump, except he's younger and much better looking.
After lying about not knowing who he is, Samantha shoots her shot, but since Big doesn't like blondes unless he's trying to make Carrie jealous, he rejects her.
I have the key to the private room downstairs. You want a private tour?
No thanks.
Oh, and before this, Kurt got his lick back on Carrie.
I was really pissed off the way you left the other day.
You were?
Yeah, and I thought how great. You finally understand the kind of relationship I really want. Now we can have sex without commitment. I mean, whenever you feel like it, if I'm alone, I'm all yours.
Right.
Carrie almost concedes to walking home when Big pulls up in a limo and kidnaps her. They begin talking and then Big likens Carrie's job to that of a sex worker.
What do you do for work?
I'm sort of a sexual anthropologist.
You mean like
He also clocks her immediately when she talks about the idea of having sex like a man.
Right now I'm researching an article about women who have sex like men. You know, they have sex and then afterwards they feel nothing.
But you're not like that.
Well, aren't you?
Not a drop.
What's wrong with you?
I get it. You've never been in love.
Completely shooketh by Big's ability to read her so effortlessly, Carrie is intrigued. He drops her off and she asks him if he's ever been in love, and like a true pimp, Big responds,
Absolutely.
Carrie later attends a fashion show and bumps into Big again at the after party. This will be a recurring theme for the two because although they live in a very large city, they constantly run into each other. The girls were previously discussing how much they hate models because somehow all of the mediocre looking men who they live amongst are pulling Naomi's and Kate's. So imagine Carrie's horror when she sees Big has successfully pulled a Naomi himself.
Oh,
Carrie, I'd like you to meet Misha.
Hi, you were great in the show.
Thank you.
Suddenly, I felt like I was wearing patchouli in a room full of Chanel.
Although, I don't think she should be too jealous. Later, Big runs into her at a coffee shop, remembering which one she said she writes in. She is delighted to hear him tell her that despite banging tons of beautiful women, at some point, he wants to be with a less attractive woman who makes him laugh.
Well, there are so many goddamn gorgeous women out there. But the thing is this. After a while, you just want to be with the one that makes you laugh. Know what I mean?
Carrie is once again impressed by his backhanded riz. After constantly bumping into Big, they actually have a date set at one of Samantha's PR functions. But true to form, Big cancels on her last minute.
Oh, something came up. He's not gonna meet me.
Until he shows up anyway.
Hey!
Hey.
And then he instantly ditches her.
You're here, you have an hour, let's have a drink.
Well, I was outside trying to get in for 30 minutes, inside looking for you for 20 minutes, so that leaves me with just enough time to tell you that I'm out of time.
I'm telling y'all, Big is a pimp. I'm sure seeing Carrie playing with Timothy Elephant's pierced tongue didn't help though. Take 2. Big invites Carrie for a drink thing. We later learn why it's just a thing. Big's ass friend Jack is whining about his second divorce and I guess needs Big's shoulder to cry on.
Hi, how are you?
Marvelous. Going through my second divorce, just getting everything the first didn't.
I always got confused as to why he would ask Carrie to join him when this is clearly a guys only thing. Carrie leaves, one of the few times we'll see her exert any self-respect. Because Big is the most slippery man she's ever met, she instead continues messing with Timothy Elephant as a distraction. But he didn't have any toilet paper in his house, so Carrie dumps him. Later, she runs into Big with his stupid friend who is working on divorce number 3. This time, he sets a proper date.
Now that I've got Jack hooked up on sale again, maybe we could have dinner sometime? Anywhere you want.
Call me.
So now, Big and Carrie finally have a legitimate date set. Although she's planning not to sleep with Big, as soon as she sees him, they get it in. Of course, Carrie is a little disappointed in herself for not delaying the gratification, although when she dates Aiden, she'll blow a gasket for him not instantly plowing her at the furniture store.
Why don't you want to sleep with me?
Post-coital Big looks pretty meh about it, while Carrie is already planning how she's going to spend his money. They end up going to a Chinese restaurant, and Carrie sees her douchebag friend Mike eating with a woman he regards so little that he didn't even introduce her.
Hey.
You look great.
Not too naked?
Just naked enough.
Hi, I'm Carrie Bradshaw. I'm an old friend of Mike's.
Libby Bialik.
It's so nice to finally meet
So
a
I'll
friend.
call you.
Okay, great. I left the table wondering why Mike didn't want to introduce me to his date.
When she talks to this guy later, he explains that he treats her like crap while still using her body because although they get along, that's not who he wants to be with long term.
She's warm and unpretentious, and it was the best I've ever had in my life. She's not beautiful, and we don't have a lot in common. Look, all I know is that she's not the right woman for me in a larger sense.
AKA, she is a placeholder. Fuck this guy. Carrie uses Mike's deal with Libby as her latest intrusive thought, that Big is ashamed to be seen with her. She gets more supporting evidence when the two are taking a leisurely stroll. She tells Big about a major accomplishment of hers, her column's ad being displayed on the side of a bus. Having just escaped the
Sex on the first date cars.
she is happy to be seen with him when he runs into old colleagues, but then he doesn't introduce her to them.
Phyllis, how are you?
Yeah, everything good?
Yeah, everything's dandy.
So, good to see you.
Good to see you again.
Good seeing you.
Bye-bye. Cheers.
Who is that?
Oh, it's just some guy who skied with an Aspen.
I tried not to let it bother me.
It doesn't help that Big takes Carrie back to the same place they had dinner and then tells her that he can't make it to her bus celebration. She calls her douchebag friend to confirm if Feng Hua is indeed
The kind of a place that men take women they don't want to be seen with in public?
Mike pretty much says it is. He's an asshole, he would know.
Yes, it's perfect for that. Oh, sorry.
The evidence was mounting. Was it possible that I had become Mr. Big's secret sex girl?
Here's Mr. Big. Oh, he couldn't make it. What do you mean he couldn't make it? I don't know, it's a work thing.
I have to note that Libby dumped his ass, which is why he showed up to her bus party alone.
Hey, I thought you were gonna bring Libby.
Oh, yeah. I finally asked her to join me in public. She turns me down. She told me she met somebody else who doesn't have my problems with intimacy.
You go, girl! After seeing her bus photo vandalized, Carrie knocks back a few glasses of champagne and then shows up at Big's unannounced.
I just came here to tell you that if you're embarrassed or ashamed to be involved with me in any way, that we can no longer see each other.
Despite not being invited in, she barges inside and immediately starts drinking his liquor. Then she goes on a rant about how she thinks Big is playing her.
You won't introduce me to your friends. You bring me back to that restaurant where men take women they don't want to be seen with. You won't come out and meet my friends. You have me in a niche. Like I'm only a particular fragment of the kind of person you think that you should be dating.
She thinks Big is listening, but he's really just coming up with more game to spit.
Well, I think Feng Hua's is the best Chinese food in the city, so that's why we went there. The guy we met in the street, I couldn't remember his name, which possibly means I have Alzheimer's, so that's what that was about. And this afternoon, I had courtside tickets for the Knicks, and that's all, folks.
My thing is, why didn't he say any of this beforehand? Carrie actually wasn't in the wrong here. I think she had a point because he canceled on her without even explaining why. And he still could have introduced Carrie to those people, even if it was just as a friend. But with Carrie, she is easily impressed and accepts his on-the-spot explanation. Then they go for round 2.
So you and me, then maybe this is for real?
Could be.
So now, Carrie and Big are dating. They're making out in the middle of the street and she's ditched her friends. It's getting serious. When Carrie remembers that she still has friends, she goes to dinner with them and catches up on the weeks, or even months, knowing Carrie, of new developments that she's missed out on. As the girls are filing out of the restaurant, Samantha sees Big with another woman.
Isn't that Mr. Big?
Carrie, completely unable to get her head out of her own ass, assumes Big is just chatting with a friend because there's no way possible that he could be on a date with someone other than herself. She greets him and instantly realizes that, yes, he's on a date.
Oh, Carrie, this is Julia Woods.
I strongly believe that Big was on a date with his main girl and that Carrie was the placeholder. More on that later. Big actually introduces who he's with this time, and Carrie asks to speak with him in private.
Are you on a date?
Sort of.
I thought you said you had a business thing tonight.
I said a dinner thing.
Also, I can't believe I'm siding with Big here, but he did say it was a dinner thing. Carrie even said it herself when she was talking to Miranda.
Big's got this dinner thing.
I thought you said you had a business thing tonight.
Carrie is so pissed off that she tells him to enjoy his dinner twice, and then she hits him.
So, then enjoy your dinner. Oh, already said that. Well, enjoy it twice.
I can't believe it. He's seen other women.
Then she says this.
True, we had never discussed exclusivity.
Because they have such terrible communication, Carrie is expecting Big to magically feel the same way about her that she does about him. This is a common theme that will get her heart broken in the future iterations of this doomed relationship. Big reaffirms their plans for the weekend and throws in an I Miss You Baby to his Riz collection, but this time Carrie isn't as impressed.
I'll pick you up at 8. I miss you, baby.
He said, I miss you, baby.
At their weekend plans, Big runs into yet another woman he had relations with who wants her passport back.
Melissa.
I've been trying to call you.
Yeah, you know,
Still have my passport.
she's a friend I once traveled with.
Internationally, I would imagine.
Then they meet Max, who will later photograph Carrie being fashion roadkill.
Stop taking my picture.
Big introduces Carrie as someone special, and Max instantly assumes it is Julia Woods, aka the same girl that Carrie caught Big on a date with.
Max, I want you to meet someone very special. Julia.
Actually, it's Carrie.
Finally fed up, Carrie realizes that Big is the ultimate player and leaves, sick of his red flags hitting her in the face one after the other.
How many women are you dating?
In the tri-state area?
Well, let's see. There's me, Julia. Oh, and let's not forget International Melissa.
I'm not doing this here. Come on. I mean, what do you want from me?
Nothing. I don't want anything from you. I have to go. I'm sorry.
I felt like a fool. I had gone so far out on a limb with my feelings that I didn't realize I was standing out there alone.
Goes to a party where she meets this unibrowed specimen, Jared. Because Carrie still operates from an adolescent mindset, she uses Jared to make Big jealous once he informs her of his attraction to her.
Hello?
I just want to let you know that I'm at this very cool party for very cool people under 30, and this very cool novelist wants to take me home. And he just put his arms around me. Here, say hello, Jared.
Hello, Jared.
That was Jared.
Carrie, just get over here.
No, you get over here.
Come over here! Why don't you come over here? Come over here! Come over here!
I can't. I don't know where you are.
I'm at the Luna Park Cafe. Just meet me out front.
To punish Big, she makes him wait at the wrong entrance. Then she argues with him about it.
What are you doing back here? You said to meet out front.
This is the front.
This isn't the front. This is the back. I've been waiting out front for 30 damn minutes.
You see those doors? That's the front. You were waiting at the street entrance.
The street entrance is the front entrance.
Depending on where you're coming from.
After this petty back and forth, Carrie finally has the chance to tell Big how she feels. But she doesn't.
I've done the merry-go-round. I've been through the revolving door. I feel like I met somebody I can stand still with for a minute, and... Don't you want to stand still with me?
You dragged me out to a park at 3 in the morning to ask me if I want to stand still with you?
Yes.
Carrie, you realize this means nothing, right? Big and Carrie have progressed enough in their relationship to now begin sleepovers, but apparently not enough for typical questions such as, were you married before, to have been asked.
Threesomes? Ever done one?
Sure.
Really? With who?
My ex-wife.
Suddenly, my column was the last thing on my mind. You were married?
Yeah, I thought I told you.
No, you didn't.
Suddenly, Carrie is pissed, and I assume it's because the idea of being someone's second wife isn't as romantic sounding as being someone's first. But then again, Big likes to withhold information, so it's very possible that he never told her that he was married. Instead of just not seeing him anymore because he's too damn mysterious or having a real adult conversation with Big, Carrie decides to transfer her rage onto Big's ex-wife. So she stalks her to get some information on who she's silently competing against.
He had an ex-wife named Barbara who I quickly discovered worked in publishing. My plan was simple. I'd pitch her a steamy bodice-ripping paperback, which she'd probably reject, but at least I'd get 5 minutes face-to-face with her.
Carrie? Much to her chagrin, turns out she's proto-Natasha.
Special Olympics chairwoman. Sorry, I haven't hung it yet.
I need something for this Women in the Arts luncheon. I helped organize them on the steering committee, so.
Not only is she perfect, but she actually likes Carrie and wants to set up a lunch with her. Before they meet up, Carrie allows her insecurities about Barb to get to her while she's making love to Big.
Nibbling his earlobes. How sweet. Let me show you how it's really done.
Hey, what just happened? Where did you go?
She asks about why he got divorced, and he gives her a vague answer.
I didn't tell you I was married because it was a long time ago.
What happened?
Alienation of affection followed by divorce. Let's not talk about the past.
At lunch, after a few glasses of champagne, Barbara opens up to Carrie and lets her know that, surprise, surprise, Big was a cheater.
He had a wandering eye. Wandered right over to my best friend.
Carrie brings this up after not seeing him for over a week. Big does his usual pimp game and only brings up the details after the fact.
You tell me you have an ex-wife. You tell me you guys had a three-way. Yes, I asked, but you dropped this big bomb, and you don't even give me any details. You don't even tell me why you broke up.
I cheated on her.
What happened?
Alienation of affection followed by divorce.
She told me at lunch.
I know you know. She told me she told you.
See, that's another thing. You didn't tell me that you're still talking to her.
Listen, wait a minute. The reason we had the threesome is because we were both looking for someone else. Do you know anyone who's right for me?
And once again, with a vague explanation and a simple kiss, Big is able to distract Carrie from her very real concerns. After the girls attend a wedding, Carrie calls up Big and gets yet another bomb dropped on her.
Well, why did you get married?
I was a fool in love.
Oh, that is so sweet.
And then I was a fool in divorce court, which is why I'm never getting married again.
Suddenly, I had to concentrate on breathing. Could I date a man who would never get married?
Trying to make Big jealous again, she tells Big about her plan to marry Stan, who Big already knows plays for the other team.
We got a marriage proposal last night.
Really? From whom?
Stanford Blatch.
I thought he was gay.
However, she brings up her concerns to Big during dinner when she tells him that she does want to get married someday, although when the situation actually materializes, she literally throws up, has a panic attack, and grows a large rash on her stomach.
Look, I do want to get married someday. I mean, maybe not today, but I don't want to... I can't date somebody that won't. You know, what's the point?
Definitely too much salt. I thought we were having fun. sauce on the lip, right?
Carrie, this man is not serious. Every single time she voices her concerns about how Big is acting towards her, he uses the deflect and kiss method, and it works every single time. Big and Carrie are seemingly smooth sailing for a little bit until Carrie farts in bed and loses her shit over it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Then when they don't sleep together for a few nights, she takes this to mean that he's no longer attracted to her and their relationship is doomed.
You know what? I'm exhausted. You mind if we just call it a night? Good night.
That was the first night we slept together and didn't make love. By the middle of the next week, it was 3 times in a row, and I was beginning to worry.
When she's venting to Miranda, Carrie lets her know that she's so consumed with impressing Big that she can no longer be herself.
I farted in front of my boyfriend.
You farted. You're human.
I don't want him to know that. He's this perfect guy. You know, he walks around his perfect apartment with his perfect suits. I mean, just perfect. And I'm the girl who farts. I think I'm in love with him, and I'm terrified that he's going to leave me because I'm not perfect. But something about him. I mean, you should see me around him. I'm not like me. I'm like together Carrie. You know, I wear little outfits. You know, sexy Carrie and casual Carrie. Sometimes I catch myself actually posing. It's exhausting.
Despite this depressing red flag, Carrie is still determined to force Big to want her, so she shows up to his apartment in red f***me pumps and ridiculously tries to distract him from a boxing match. This doesn't go well.
Very nice.
Baby.
Carrie. Oh, man. Jesus, Carrie, come on. Would you knock it the f off? I'm trying to watch this fight. Just
Fine, I'll leave.
Carrie even ends up revealing her main insecurity to him.
Well, maybe I'm not perfect. Maybe I don't fit into your perfect, life with your perfect apartment and your perfect pay-per-view fight. Maybe I should leave.
I stood there and waited for the obligatory, he's coming to stop me 10 seconds. He didn't.
After not hearing from Big for a few days,
You have no new messages in your mailbox.
Carrie repaints her kitchen to keep her mind off of not having any sex. Then Big randomly drops by and they have the most high school ass exchange.
Why didn't you call?
Why didn't you call?
Come over here! Come over here!
Y'all should already know what happens at this point, but I'll explain. Carrie tells Big she had a meltdown. Big doesn't bother asking any probing questions. He changes the subject once he sees her drug-fueled neighbors humping in the window, and then he decides he wants to compete with them.
We can do better than that.
Once again, no resolution was reached. Finally, Carrie sees Big at church with his mother, and after turning him down for an impromptu coffee break, Carrie leaves but says this in her narration.
It was one of those awkward relationship moments where you feel like you know nothing about the person you thought you knew everything about.
Because she desperately wants to become a part of this withholding, adulterous, mysterious king baby's life, she tries to weasel in on his mommy time, but gets rebuffed and takes his invite to the Caribbean as a consolation prize.
Come on. I want to go to church with you and your mommy. How about this Sunday?
It's just a private little thing my mother and I do, just the two of us. You want to go to the Caribbean next week? We could both use a vacation.
So you all excited for the big vacazione?
Oh, I don't know. I can't help feeling like it's some sort of consolation prize for not letting me in his life.
Because Carrie is a
habitual line stepper,
she drags Miranda with her to go spy on Big at church. When she sees that, yes, he is indeed telling the truth about this being an intimate event, they leave, but not before Carrie disrupts the entire church by accidentally dropping a Bible from the balcony. Carrie, being Carrie, sticks around before shooing Miranda away. This is her moment. She needs to meet Big's mom to feel like her relationship with Big is progressing towards something serious.
Morning.
Morning.
Mother, this is my friend Carrie. My friend Carrie. My friend.
I searched her face, looking for the light of recognition. But there was nothing.
It was lovely meeting you.
Then she and Big have it out.
My friend, Carrie.
Oh, you show up at church after I asked you not to. What are you trying to do, test me? Why all of a sudden interest in meeting my mother?
Well, has the woman ever even heard of me?
My mother doesn't need to meet another girlfriend.
Oh.
I didn't mean that. I'll introduce you as my girlfriend when I'm sure. I have to do things on my time frame.
We've been going on for months. I really don't know what else to say to you.
Since Miranda is too good of a friend to Carrie, and because she knows Big ain't shit, she meets back up with Carrie, who complains that
He introduced me to his mother as a friend. She never heard of me. That isn't a good sign. Can't get inside. I don't know what else I can do.
Carrie is hell-bent on rushing the shit out of this already DOA relationship, so right before they're about to head to St. Bart's, Carrie demands that Big, who hasn't even mentioned her to his mother, tell her that she's the one.
Just tell me I'm the one. You don't have to tell your mother or the whole world. Just tell me.
Of course, Big can't say it because it's not true. So Carrie finally decides to break up with him.
I love you, but I can't.
Big seems more annoyed than anything.
So that's it?
Let's recap. Over the course of just 6 months, Big has canceled plans with no explanation,
Oh, something came up. He's not gonna meet me.
Oh, I can't make your party tomorrow.
omitted important details from her,
You were married?
Thought I told you. I didn't tell you I was married because it was a long time ago.
What happened?
Alienation of affection followed by divorce.
You dropped this big bomb, and you don't even give me any details. You don't even tell me why you broke up.
I cheated on her.
She told me at lunch.
She told me she told you.
You didn't tell me that you're still talking to her. You know, I just didn't realize you were dating other women.
distracted her valid concerns with sex,
You know, the reason we had the is because we were both looking for something or someone else.
Do you know anyone who's right for me?
But
What was that all about the other night?
that was me, having a meltdown.
Okay.
Look, I do want to get married someday.
I thought we were having fun. Saw something.
reduced her to his friend, and dated other women while seeing her. And this is only the first season. Welcome back. When we last left off from this dumpster fire, Carrie was crying her eyes out at the dissolution of her 6-month situationship with Manhattan's most slippery playboy. If you thought last season was bad, this season kicks it up a notch and features Big at peak audacity.
Where can you go from there? Where? 11, exactly.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
And Carrie at hell levels of low self-esteem. 1 month into her post-Big depression, her friends force her to leave the house because if Carrie isn't ignoring her friends for a guy, she's ignoring them because she's moping over one.
Just when exactly do you think you're going to be getting out of this hostage situation? What? Am I wrong?
Don't listen to her, Carrie. It's only been a month.
She's unexpectedly dragged to a baseball game where she meets an up-and-coming baseball player who becomes her latest attempt to get over Big.
I'm gonna ask him to the Dolce & Gabbana party.
While Carrie was afraid of running into Big before she met the new Yankee, her fears eventually materialize while she's on a date with him.
Sorry. Breakup rule number 4. Never stop thinking about him, even for a moment, because that's the moment he'll appear.
Big knows Carrie is still into him, so all he has to do is touch her shoulder and tell her that she looks good before giving her this odd, threatening glare while leaving, and her emotions run crazy.
I saw your picture in the paper. You never looked better.
You want another round?
Carrie throws up in the new Yankee's mouth
I just cried in your mouth.
and then tells him to f off before running away because she's obviously not ready to date again. Carrie's 33rd trip around the sun is coming up, and she gets flowers sent to her from Big and then calls to thank him.
I just wanted to call and thank you for the flowers. That was very thoughtful of you.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, my secretary had it on her calendar, so
Oh, so your secretary sent them?
I sent the flowers. My secretary alerted me to the day.
Oh, well, that was very thoughtful of her and you for sending them.
Then she invites him to her birthday party.
Stanford's arranged this party down at Layla. You know, it's that Moroccan restaurant. You should come. The instant the words popped out of my mouth, I regretted them.
Because Big is a pimp and loves to mess with Carrie's head, he tells her he may bring someone, so she naturally assumes it's another woman.
I may bring someone.
Well, yeah,
come and bring that person, and maybe I'll see you later, and thank you again for the thoughtful flowers.
It's actually worse, his ass friend Jack, who very obviously isn't too fond of women.
Just split up with the bitch who broke my heart. At least she didn't get my money. Going through my second divorce, bitch is getting everything the first bitch didn't.
Do you ever shut the fuck up?
And I'm still a piece of garbage.
In true pimp fashion, Big gets a lap dance from not one, but two belly dancers right in front of Carrie.
What is your ex doing at your birthday?
I told him to drop by for a drink.
They walk together after the party, and Carrie states the obvious after he leaves in his pimp mobile.
As I watched him go, I realized the one thing I couldn't say to Mr. Big was, I'm still not over you.
Later, the girls end up attending a funeral for a fashion designer, which leads Carrie into a semi-existential crisis.
How did any of us know how much time we had left? Hell, sometimes I felt like I was barely living.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey.
It's just me.
Big sets a date, and Carrie begins spiraling immediately.
I had my date with Big. I was feeling everything. Fear, happiness, dread. Was I ready to jump back into a life with Big in it? Was seeing him again a huge mistake? And if it was, why was I so excited?
At the dinner, it's pretty obvious that Big wants to smash, but Carrie leaves him with blue balls at the end of the date, suddenly realizing that this is a bad idea.
Suddenly, getting back together with Big seemed like a very bad idea.
Once again, this will be one of the few times we see Carrie making a good decision for a change. After ignoring 4 of his calls, Big shows up unannounced so he can continue playing with Carrie's head.
Good. You're alive.
Hey, wait, where are you going?
They make out, but then Carrie drags him to a bowling game to delay the inevitable.
I won.
Okay, 2 out of 3.
You want to play a second game, huh?
Maybe.
Are you sure you're ready to get all over again?
Yep. Let's do it.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
When Carrie is at Big's making the nastiest looking fondue ever,
it's horrible.
She tells him that she hasn't informed her friends they're seeing each other again. He agrees that it's best to not tell anyone, aka keep their relationship as friends with benefits.
I haven't told any of my friends we're seeing each other again.
Neither have I.
Well, that doesn't count. You have no friends.
I have interested parties.
Then why haven't you told them?
I sensed you didn't want me to. Well, what do you want me to tell people?
Nothing.
Good idea. Let's keep it quiet.
Carrie walk of shames at home and runs into Miranda, lying that she's getting her teeth cleaned and not having casual sex with a guy she very clearly wants to be in a relationship with.
Miranda, oh my God.
What are you doing up here?
Oh, teeth cleaning.
At 7 a.m.?
Well, I like to get it over with.
Now that she's back to her drug of choice, an emotionally unavailable finance bro, she begins lying to her friends about seeing him.
But I don't feel very well.
What's wrong?
I just have a headache. It just hit me.
You're kind of dressed up for the dentist.
Oh, laundry day.
I had never lied to Miranda before. The truth was I was cheating on her and all my friends with Mr. Big.
Until she's finally forced to admit it after this.
Is everything okay in there?
This is embarrassing, but I got a new diaphragm and it's stuck.
How long has it been in there?
Since last night.
You mean while you were out getting your teeth cleaned this morning? It was...
Yep. I'm either gonna have to make an emergency visit to my gynecologist or one of you is gonna have to give me a hand.
Go.
Listen, Samantha was a real one for this.
Who are you sleeping with?
It's Big.
You're sleeping with Big?
What makes you think it's going to be any different this time?
It kind of feels okay.
If it feels okay, why are you sneaking behind our backs?
Because they're right, Carrie stomps her feet and leaves. Big takes Carrie dancing, and per Carrie's narration,
it was like he knew that I needed to talk to him and decided to make it as difficult as possible.
Because Carrie is the only person putting effort into what will eventually become round 2, she of course has to be the one to ask if they're back together.
So does this mean we're seeing each other again?
If you say so. Bruh.
Big dances around all of Carrie's concerns as per the usual and just spits more game.
I don't know what officially means.
Officially means officially.
Oh.
You know, for real.
Every moment of my life is for real, baby.
Why do we break up?
You tell me.
You guys notice how they never answer each other's questions?
How old are you?
How old are you?
If I make that call, are you going to be there for me?
Are we gonna do this? Really?
Carrie, in or out?
Why didn't you call?
Why didn't you call?
You leave tomorrow at 5? How about lunch? I'll come over around 2.
I can't believe you're leaving me alone with a horse and buggy. I sure did miss you, officially.
I guess we were back together.
Since Big has Carrie where he wants her emotionally, he begins breadcrumbing her. She asks for a spare toothbrush while at his place, and after receiving one, she literally says this.
There's only one pink brush head, and Big was giving his to me. It was the single most encouraging moment so far in our relationship.
Okay.
Girl, aim higher. Also, I guess she's not brushing her teeth. Carrie is too nice to say no to anyone, so she agrees to write a poem for Madeline, who snatched Miranda's prospect right from under her nose and got engaged to him like 2 seconds after meeting him. While the two are in bed, Big agrees to attend the wedding in a show of support, although he's making fun of her writing.
Love, glove, dove. Love is like a dove. Or a big fuzzy glove. Don't use that, I might have stolen it from a greeting card. This is fun.
It's not supposed to be fun. This is somebody's wedding.
When is this wedding?
Doesn't matter, you're not going.
Yes, I am. I wouldn't miss you reciting love, glove, dove in front of all of New York for anything.
This is the first episode where they're returning to their normal coupledom, so naturally Big is overdue for a major letdown. When he shows up to Carrie's, he's unusually cold, standoffish, and pissed that somebody knows his basic-ass real name.
Hey, I left the card here for you to sign.
I don't need to sign it. They're your friends.
They're not my friends, and your name's on the invitation, too. It was my first time to get something other than Carrie Bradshaw and guest.
How'd they get my name?
I don't know. I guess Madeline must have asked Charlotte or something.
As if this weren't bad enough, in the middle of Carrie's poem, Big takes a call and leaves the room.
His forever was as simple as her smile. And suddenly it hit me.
Bruh.
Two people were committing to a life together. I couldn't even get a guy to be on a card with me. He said she was what was missing. She said instantly she knew. She was a question to be answered. And his answer was, I do.
They've only been back together for one episode, and this man has already made her cry.
Big took a call during my poem. It's not important to him. Nothing is important to him.
Did I miss anything?
You missed my poem and most of the reception, but there's nothing like a slow dance to make you forgive and forget.
Maybe later. I hate to dance while people are eating.
She brings up the fact that he wouldn't sign the card, which almost sounds like a soft launch into a breakup, but then Carrie shoves her true feelings aside and instead implies that she's pissed at him for not taking the wedding of someone she barely knows seriously enough.
What's wrong?
You wouldn't even sign the card.
The card.
I'm afraid we don't want the same things.
Things like cake?
I want someone who's going to be with me until the end of a wedding.
Big knows Carrie only needs the bare minimum to be happy, so he agrees to stay until after the bouquet toss, which I'm pretty sure he was going to do anyway.
Okay. I'll stay.
You will?
Yes.
Big and Carrie go on a date, and Carrie is elated when Big refers to her as his girlfriend.
Carrie, this is Paulo. Paulo, this is my girlfriend, Carrie.
You've never called me your girlfriend before.
Sure I have. Just not to your face. I'd like to dedicate this song to the lovely lady sitting right over there.
It was perfect. I felt like I was in heaven.
And just like that, Carrie is sprung yet again. Big's game is working so well that Carrie ditches Miranda to watch him cook a piece of veal.
Hey! Where are you? I've been waiting here forever. Is everything all right? I thought you were dead or something.
No, I'm fine. I'm at Big's.
You and I are having dinner tonight.
He got this veal. He wanted to make me dinner.
So you just dropped your life and ran right on over to his.
Miranda, rightfully pissed that her friend is a major pygmisha, lays this uncomfortable truth on her.
Your relationship is exactly the same as always. It's all about him.
Carrie asks Big to meet her friends to prove Miranda wrong.
I have a huge request. I want you to know my friends better.
I know your friend's fine.
Okay, then, I want them to know you better. They've never really spent time with you, and...
Carrie, what is it you need?
Side note, it is all Carrie's fault that she ends up with Steve in his skid-marked underwear. Carrie still isn't aware of Big's obvious pattern, which I liken to that of a sine wave, and that for every time he's not being a douchebag, he immediately follows it up with being a douchebag. The girls have a discussion about relationships changing overnight, and Charlotte, ever the delusional Pollyanna, actually thinks Big and Carrie's relationship has.
Charlotte, honey, have you actually ever known anyone whose relationship changed magically overnight?
Yes. Look at Carrie and Big.
Miranda doesn't agree.
How? Tell me, how is it different?
Just a feeling. I don't know, something's shifted. It's like, maybe we both know that if we came together again, it must be for a reason.
Back in slippery mode, when Carrie shows up to his apartment to have a drink before he meets her friends, he cancels on her.
You mind if I don't go? I mean, I've been out all day. It's gonna rain.
But my friends are expecting you.
Yeah, I know, but they're your friends, and they'll be fine with just you. Is it okay?
Sure.
I was afraid if I looked up into his eyes, I'd turn to stone.
Carrie literally looks like a kid who just got told that Santa Claus isn't real. Now she has to face the embarrassment of telling her friends that no, their relationship did not magically change overnight, it's actually gotten worse.
Guys, maybe we should just get a table for us four.
I knew it. Big's not coming.
Miranda, what are you talking about? He's coming, isn't he?
I didn't know if I had the heart to tell Charlotte that happily ever after really was just a myth.
Oh, but wait, Big showed up after all. Santa Claus does exist. Then he spills Samantha's tea.
So, Samantha, tell me, did you ever get it on with that old coot?
Way to be a girl's girl, Carrie. Remember that sine wave? We're taking a dip again because now Big is openly disrespecting Carrie by leering at other women in her face. Other women who don't look a thing like Carrie, I might add. They go out to dinner and Big continues playing in Carrie's face by making a show of his arrogance.
Excuse me, you can't smoke that in here.
You're absolutely positively sure about that? I checked the zoning on this particular table, and I'm pretty sure this table's in a cigar-friendly zone.
Well, I don't mind, but it's for the other patrons.
Oh, you mean if those 5 patrons don't mind, it's okay with you? One second. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Would it be okay if I smoke this? And please, let me preface this by saying I'd like to buy everybody a round of drinks. Apparently, the other patrons aren't bothered at all.
I didn't have the guts to tell Big that he was actually kind of bothering me.
When Carrie catches Big staring at another woman, she once again deflects by not telling him what she's actually mad about.
I hate that cigar.
And you told me right to my face.
I wanted to tell him that I was afraid he could never love me the way I wanted to be loved. I was afraid that maybe he didn't really have the capacity to love anyone but himself. I was afraid that given the chance, he'd break my heart again, but I cheated and just said,
I guess I was afraid. You wouldn't even sign the card. I'm afraid we don't want the same things. I want someone who's going to be with me until the end of a wedding.
Come on, I mean, what do you want from me?
What do I want from you? Nothing. I don't want anything from you.
Well, what do you want me to tell people?
Nothing.
Good idea. Let's keep it quiet.
Don't you want to stand still with me?
You dragged me out to a park at 3 in the morning to ask me if I want to stand still with you?
Oh, but if you thought that was bad, Big ramps it up by making Carrie wait half an hour for him at his apartment.
Sorry.
You're a half hour late. Your doorman thinks I'm a hooker.
Did you make any money?
Not funny. I hate waiting. Here. For you.
There's a coffee shop around the corner. You could have waited. In.
She's understandably upset, but Big does nothing to soothe her, especially when she suggests having a key to his apartment so she doesn't have to wait in a damn coffee shop for him.
You know, if you gave me a key, I could wait upstairs next time. Or you could stay at my place sometimes. It's easy to pick my locks.
But then I like my bed.
This all leads to probably the most explosive fight they've ever had. As if Big couldn't explain in any other unsubtle ways that the only active person in this relationship is Carrie, Big acts like she's not even in his bed when they're asleep. And then this happens.
Ah! Damn it!
Carrie! Oh, are you alright?
No!
Okay, Big is an absolute prick, a breadcrumber, and has most likely read the 48 Laws of Power. He is a finance bro after all. But he still does not deserve to be hit in the face. DV is bad even when it's female on male, and I'm just adding that in there because I absolutely despise when people girl bossify women abusing men.
What the fuck?
Yes, honey, slay queen. You better knock him the fuck out even if he didn't hit you first. To make matters worse, Carrie doesn't even want to let Big sleep, so she wakes him up by dropping ice cold water on his face, doesn't give him the ice pack, and finally decides to explain herself.
The thing is, the other night wasn't just about the cigar. I hate that you look at other women. I hate that I don't have a key to your place. You've never spent the night at my place. You can't even make space for me in your bed. And it's not your fault because I never say it. So now I punched you, so now I have to say it. I feel like I'm back in your life and nothing has really changed. And I know you can't change a man, and you definitely can't change a man like you, but I still want something to change a little bit for me.
Physical violence is never the answer.
I'm gonna go.
She doesn't hear from him for a few days until he shows up randomly dressed like Shaft with a humongous black eye.
Sorry.
Get your motherfucking hand out of my face.
These two morons can't communicate until something forces them to, so Carrie's right hook is the impetus for Big finally laying his cards out.
Maybe you need a key to know that I'm crazy about you. But the thing is, I've given out, like, 5 keys, and you never get them back. And maybe I hog my bed, but I mean, it's my bed, and, well, I like you in it.
Wow, I should hit you more often.
Summary. He's a king baby, and he doesn't want to change. He spends the night at Carrie's for the first time, and Carrie says this.
I realized that neither of us would ever fundamentally change, but we were talking about it, and maybe that was the biggest change of all.
Okay, so if the last episode's DV incident wasn't terrible enough, let's add some cheating into the mix. For whatever reason, Big rewards Carrie's abuse with the infamous Judith Lieber Mallard bag. She's been itching to tell this man that she loves him, and it slips out even after her inner monologue vetoed the gift.
It was just wrong. I didn't know what to say except, I love you.
Oh, well. You're welcome.
Okay, first of all, how is this bag proof that he doesn't love her when she has a truckload of gaudy, weird purses just like this one? Remember the sine wave. The two high schoolers go to dinner and Big runs more game on her by future faking her out.
It's from a small winery in the heart of Tuscany. I rented a villa there one summer with the ex. I've always wanted to go back with someone I actually liked.
Carrie thinks Big is about to tell her he loves her, but
Listen, there's something I've been meaning to tell you ever since the night I gave you the purse.
Yeah?
You can take it back if you don't like it.
That became the first night I wanted to tell Big, I hate you.
Obviously not happy with the relationship and still waiting for those elusive 3 words to be reciprocated, Carrie attends a Park Avenue party with Big and is horrified to learn that this rich finance bro is friends with other rich people who are nothing like her. I don't know how much more evidence Carrie needs to break it off with Big because they're simply incompatible, but when she's banished to the balcony since she can't smoke indoors, she meets yet another guy to use to make Big jealous.
Carrie.
Hey! Jeremiah! Jeremiah was a famous downtown performance artist. We had engaged in a mild flirtation for years.
So who are you here with?
Oh, some guy.
Hey, I just got a new tattoo. You want to see it?
Yeah. Wowza. How far down does that go?
Excuse me, what the actual fuck are you doing?
Big's friend immediately snitches on Carrie and he confronts her.
Please stop. You're embarrassing me.
Well, maybe if you joined me on the terrace like a gentleman, we wouldn't be standing here having this conversation.
Let's just go.
No, you go. I'm having a good time.
Carrie leaves with Jeremiah and successfully punishes Big for not saying he loves her, although the only person making any effort in this dumpster fire union is Carrie. Waking up the next morning after cheating on Big, she gets a call from him. Since she now has the upper hand, Big needs to reclaim some of his power by being vulnerable with the most aggressive and forced I love you I have ever heard in my entire life.
Well, I fucking love you. All right? You know I do.
Carrie doesn't care, however, and accepts his begrudged declaration with another man in her bed.
I felt like I was the lowest of the low, but I never told Mr. Big. I figured everything before I love you just doesn't count.
Unless it's Aiden.
I love you, Carrie.
Bruh.
With a hidden affair in tow, a brush with DV, and enough breadcrumbs to make Thanksgiving dressing, Big and Carrie's situationship chugs along. Their latest issue? Big doesn't want Carrie leaving anything of hers at his place.
Excuse me, what the actual fuck are you doing?
I'm spending the night at Big's.
My God, after all this time, you don't have so much as a drawer there?
Big is weird about stuff.
Talk to him about it.
With Big, I think it's best to walk softly and carry a big purse.
This is the woman that he allegedly loves.
I fucking love you. All right?
Carrie knows their relationship is not meeting the proper milestones, so she attempts to leave some of her things at his apartment. She even brags about this to her friends.
I did leave a hairbrush, hairdryer, razors, tampons, and eye makeup remover.
Wow, good for you.
This blows up in her face when Big comes by and presents her with what she thinks is another gift, but really it's a side chick with fries.
Hey, what's this?
Oh, just a few things you left at my place.
Oh.
Carrie confronts Big about never wanting to see a trace of her in his apartment, and he tells her that he's happy with the way their relationship is.
I meant to leave that stuff at your apartment. I don't wake up looking like this. I actually need stuff to look like this, and it would be nice not to have to carry it around all day with me like a nomad. And you can leave stuff here.
I don't want to leave stuff here.
Well, not a lot of stuff, just like socks.
You want me to leave socks here?
Well, never mind what I want. What do you want?
Let's save an hour. Why don't you just tell me what I want?
No, really. In your mind, what is the ideal living situation for two people in a relationship?
Exactly what we have.
Carrie goes along with it even though she knows this isn't ideal, but her doubts melt away one morning when preparing to go to her own place to groom herself. Why? I wish I were kidding, but this is why.
And suddenly I realized I didn't have to worry about leaving something behind because I was there.
That's right. Carrie finds a hidden photo of the two of them and decides that this is all she needs to stay a little bit longer. This reassures her relationship enough until the next major bomb drops. You know what it is.
Charlotte wants to do a share in the Hamptons, so are we thinking about doing something or should I go in on that?
Actually, there's a possibility I'm not going to be here this summer. I may have to move to Paris for work, just for a while.
How long a while?
7 months, maybe a year.
Wait. How long have you known about this?
It's been in the works for a while. I'll know more details after this trip.
When did you plan on telling me?
When I knew more. Nothing's definite. I mean, don't get carried away.
I wasn't even a factor in his decision-making process. Tell me what's going on. Is that too much to ask? You know, 1 minute he's all over me, and the next minute he's pushing me away, and I just cannot believe this is happening again.
Okay. Carrie didn't dump Big after she realized he was screwing all of the brunettes in Manhattan. Fine. Carrie didn't dump Big after he was disrespecting her by staring at other women in her presence. Fine. Well, no, it's not fine, but walk with me here. Carrie didn't dump Big after he refused to make her life easier by letting her leave some of her things in his apartment since he rarely comes to her place. Fine. But this? Not telling her about a major change that will no doubt affect the future of their relationship? This should have been the last straw. However, like I said in the previous video, Carrie is nothing if not persistent because although she bitched him out over the phone,
I would like to know how you could even think of going to Paris and not even think about discussing it with me. Huh?
Can we get into this another time? I was sleeping.
After talking to her friends, she decides to keep putting in the unreciprocated work. Big comes home from Paris after his week-long break from Carrie, and she arrives, on time, unlike Big, with Whack Arnold's and a plan. Big is already drunk. He knows their relationship is about to end tonight.
Big arrived on the 9 p.m. flight. I was at his door by 10 to welcome him home in style. Bonjour!
Carrie introduces her plans to rearrange her entire life to go live in a foreign country just to continue dating a man who won't give her a key to his place and doesn't even want her things in his apartment.
I've been thinking about this. We can make this work. We can do Le Phone sex, and if things get really bad, then I'll move to Paris for a while and write Le Sex in the City.
And then he says this.
But you'd be moving to Paris for yourself, right? I mean, don't move for me.
Well, why would I move to Paris if it wasn't for you?
I don't want you to uproot your life and expect anything.
Carrie's BSOD is triggered when she finally realizes that he doesn't care.
I don't care.
I am such an idiot! I'm running around town in a beret, buying your greasy food, and you don't even care if I'm in your life.
Would you calm down?
No, you know what? I am so tired of calming down.
Look,
I have to be in a relationship where if I have to go to Paris, I have to go to Paris.
But it's just something I've got to do in my own time. Look, I have to do things on my time frame. This is my third marriage. How do you think that makes me look?
Why is it so hard for you to factor me into your life in any real way? I can't do this anymore.
I understand.
I hate that it took this much for Carrie to finally exit stage left. Later, Big drops by for some breakup sex, and then Carrie dumps him.
Go to Paris. Let's not pretend we're something we're not.
Post-breakup, Carrie is so traumatized that her friends attempt to goad her into therapy.
Honey, you're obsessed with talking about Big, and frankly, we can't take it anymore.
Maybe you should think about whining to a shrink.
A few episodes later, Carrie and the girls end up splitting a share at the Hamptons for the summer, the same plans that Big turned down due to Paris. While she's being waited on hand and foot by the girl from Bully, she ends up running into, just guess. After Carrie's replacement leaves, she awkwardly talks to Big, and even throws the fact that she's on a date with one of the aliens from Galaxy Quest in his face to make him jealous.
Who is she?
She's this girl that I met in Paris.
So you're just in from Paris for the weekend?
The Paris deal fell through. I planned on calling you. I certainly didn't want to run into you like this.
I'm here on a date too, somewhere. It's Dr. Bradley Migo. He's good on paper, probably like Natasha. I'll see you in the Hamptons or back in the city.
Carrie runs away and then pukes, realizing that she was probably being played this entire time. Why else would the picture of them be tucked away in his underwear drawer? Why else would she not be able to leave her things at his place? Why else would he have not told her about Paris until the last minute? I have another theory that Big had already met Natasha prior to the Paris debacle and was planning to move there until the two decided to live in New York instead. Because Carrie is indeed
a masochist.
Seeing Big with the antithesis of her existence isn't enough for her to leave him alone, so she randomly calls Big and gets Natasha instead.
Hello?
Realizing he has caller ID, she calls him back and sputters a bunch before he takes pity on her and agrees to lunch. Upon meeting Big, Carrie thinks it's a good sign that he's nervous, but he's actually about to shit bricks because he knows eventually he will have to tell Carrie something that she doesn't want to hear, even though she asked.
Maybe we should make a pact. We don't talk about our relationships until they get really serious or something.
Carrie, it is serious. We're engaged.
Carrie's BSOD flares up again, and she engages in yet another public fight with him and leaves, but not before taking out the hostess and two innocent servers first.
How can you be engaged? You have a problem with commitment, remember? You told me you never wanted to get married again, ever.
Well, things change.
Meaning what? You just didn't want to marry me.
Look, Natasha and
Don't say her name to me. Don't you dare say her name to me. You string me along for 2 years and then you marry some 25-year-old girl after only 5 months? You know what? I have to go. I have a headache. Don't help me. Don't you help me. What?
Wait.
What? What is it?
Don't end it like this.
No, you're the one that ended it like this. I was trying to be friendly. So go. Be engaged. Have a nice life. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. These steps are very dangerous.
Somehow, after this meltdown that Carrie brought on herself, Big is the one who calls her, drink in hand, to apologize for how everything went down.
It's me. Are you there? Well, I'm calling to say I feel bad about last week. Hated the idea of someone else telling you. I feel like a real I'm sorry. I would never, ever hurt you deliberately.
I know you wouldn't.
Carrie knows damn well she has zero intentions of being friends with Big because they were never friends. But since she still wants him in her life just in case he changes his mind, she fakes like they can eventually all get drinks together so she can talk about how she punched him in the face that one time or how she caught him on a date with another woman. Fun! She gets an invite to their engagement party, which she freaks out over and promptly discusses with her friends.
I can't believe my ex-boyfriend is 6 blocks away at the plaza right now having an engagement brunch.
I can't believe he had the nerve to invite you.
Oh, no. It's my own fault. I had to make the big let's be friends speech.
Needing to feel better about herself, she decides that Big didn't choose her because she's got curly hair and is too complicated.
Ladies, I am having an epiphany. The world is made up of 2 types of women, the simple girls and the Katie girls. I'm a Katie girl.
But I think him being punched in the face might have something to do with it. Carrie walks home and passes the engagement party. When she sees Big, he actually ditches his fiancée to chat with her.
Well, you're late. The party's over.
I'll say it is.
I have a question for you. Why wasn't it me?
Carrie.
No, seriously. Come on, be a friend.
I don't know. It just got so hard.
No!
And she's...
Here, Carrie strokes his face while Natasha is looking in a last-ditch attempt to mark her territory, and then quotes a movie he's most likely never seen.
Your girl is lovely, Hubert.
I don't get it.
And you never did.
Girl, shut the fuck up. You thought you ate that?
And with that last delusional exchange, Carrie and Big are officially donezo for the second time. Next season proves that these two don't even need to be in a relationship with each other for the mess to continue. Carrie and the girls are reading what she calls
single woman sports pages
as they make fun of the 20-something wives who have successfully secured the bag. When Charlotte sees the one who secured Big's bag, she freaks out.
What was that?
Nothing. Let me see. No, nothing to see.
Oh, you're such a bad liar.
And just like that, Carrie successfully predicted the future.
What if he never calls and 3 weeks from now I pick up the New York Times and I read that he's married some perfect little woman who never passes gas under his $500 sheets?
Charlotte accompanies Carrie back to her place to make sure she doesn't throw herself into the East River upon learning that her slippery meal ticket is now making another woman's life hell.
He wasn't the right man for you.
I know that. I know. It's not him. It's the whole wedding.
Then she throws in some painfully relatable self-deprecation.
You know, she's shiny haired, style section, Vera Wang, and I'm the sex column they run next to ads for penile implants.
The universe isn't done rubbing Big's marriage in her face because she runs into Mrs. Big while running up her already overcharged credit card.
Mrs. Big, all 5'10" of her.
Hey! Hi, Natasha.
Later, she meets Aiden, a furniture designer who will end up paying for everything Big did to her. A few weeks into her relationship with Aiden, Carrie is so thrown by the lack of drama in her life that she's genuinely confused.
What's wrong?
I don't know. And the truth was, I really didn't. But the next night, like clockwork. And then I realized it. What was wrong was, for the first time in my life, I was in a relationship where absolutely nothing was wrong.
Carrie has finally found her peace with Aiden. He actually wants her to meet his parents.
My folks are coming to town this weekend, and I wanted you to meet them.
He has no problem coming to her apartment.
Do you want to spend the night? Mm-hmm. Do you want to have a sleepover?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want a lawyer. They want a...
Liar.
She doesn't need to punch him in the face to get her point across.
Are you all right?
No!
This shoves the previously disorganized, anxious avoidant Carrie all the way into straight-up avoidant territory. In short, Big.
Do you remember how Big used to keep me away from his mother like I was some kind of leper? Well, now, Aiden's offering up both his parents on a silver platter, and I'm not sure I want to meet them. The irony is, Aiden's acting exactly the way I wish Big would have behaved, and I'm behaving just like Big.
She sees Big at the opera with Natasha, and though she was there with Charlotte enjoying Aida, the mere sight of him causes her to immediately run out of the venue. He actually chases after her because his wife. This jolts her into appreciating Aiden's availability, and she ends up meeting his parents. They enjoy a blissful, stable relationship for an episode and a half. Carrie attends a magazine launch party on a boat with Charlotte as her +1 as Aiden declined the invite. Guess who's also in attendance?
And just when I thought I was safe.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Carrie is doing a good job of ignoring Big, who clearly misses Carrie fawning over him now that he's married.
Who? Can we have a conversation anymore?
I don't know, can we?
You seeing anyone, or
Yeah, I am.
where is he?
Oh, he's home. I didn't want to subject him to the cold food and slimy media leeches. Good to see you.
While Aiden and Carrie are preparing for another sleepover, Carrie receives a message from Big. Then Aiden tells Carrie,
"You make me really happy,"
before leaving to get some more coffee filters. I don't know if Big has vampire hearing or some sort of fuckboy radar, but as soon as he overhears another man expressing interest in Carrie, he shows up.
Well, that was Very fast.
Big's crackhead energy completely throws Carrie off and she shoos him away.
Go home to your wife.
I'm so up.
Yeah, we know. But since we know Carrie is still not over him, she listens to his deranged voicemail.
Hey, Carrie, I'm here, on your corner. I know you're home. Pick up. Jesus. Well, I miss you. I can't fucking stop thinking about you. There you have it.
Yep, after not even 1 year of wedded bliss, Big is already bored and wants that old thing back. Because Big is now stalking Carrie, he shows up with Natasha at a furniture expo where Aiden's selling his enormous wooden creations.
I don't know how you could like this clunky wood. It's almost oppressive.
I'm about to beat this bitch up.
He also meets Aiden officially and damn near loses his shit at the thought of someone other than him being interested in her.
This is the designer. This is Aiden Shaw.
Hey, great stuff. Oh, thanks, man. I didn't get your name.
These are my friends. This is Natasha, and this is.
Excuse me, what the actual f are you doing?
Sure. It was nice meeting you.
Where do you know them from?
From around like 100 years ago.
The lie detective determined that was a lie.
After an awkward exchange, Big finds his way back to Carrie and begins drunkenly making fun of Aiden.
Where's Paul Bunyan?
He's doing business.
Ooh, he's a biggin'. Where'd he learn to whittle like that? Daniel Boone, is he a nice guy?
Okay, I hate him, but this was funny.
How are things with Country Bound?
You know his name now.
Can I get your number?
You like the pork pie hat? He had some breath on him. So how's it going with that guy, Hot Dog?
Burger. His name is Alexander Petrovsky.
You're moving to France with a Ruski?
What isn't funny is Big continuing to mess with Carrie's head like the true pimp he is. He drops a bomb on her that he knows will become the next topic of conversation at the girls' brunch.
It's not working. I'm getting out. If you know anyone who's interested.
No one is interested in that information. Big's leaving his wife.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
How long has he been married? What, 7 months?
The 7-month itch.
Big has successfully wormed his way back into Carrie's priorities, so when she gets another message from him, rather than just blocking his number, she listens to it over and over again until she calls Miranda so she can play it over and over again.
Hi, it's me. I need to talk to you about what I said the other day. It's important. Please call.
The right side of my brain told me the right thing was to delete it, but I left it. 7 playbacks later.
Well, you should have punched him.
No! He wants to get back together, right?
Well, it's pretty obvious what you want to do, or you wouldn't still be listening to this message. And by the way, what happened to the not insane part of you?
I have no intention of doing anything for 2 reasons. First, I have a great boyfriend, and second, I'm not insane. After the 5th playback, he got in a little. Let's listen to that message again.
After Miranda leaves, Carrie gives in like a moron and calls Big back. After coincidentally running into Carrie on a boat, showing up randomly at her apartment, running into her at a furniture expo, and leaving messages on her machine, he actually says out of his stupid head,
Look, it's about what I said about getting out of my marriage. I thought about it, and it's going to cost me a lot. So maybe you should forget about what I said.
what a piece of shit. Did he talk to Jack before he made this decision or something?
I was going through my second divorce, just getting everything the first didn't.
And just like that, Big has now flipped the switch and gotten Carrie hooked on him again. Oh, but Big isn't done yet. While Aiden is actually giving a shit about Carrie's well-being by improving her home, Carrie escapes to a hotel to write in peace. But she can't focus for too long because her favorite stalker has arrived to ruin everything.
Hello?
It's me. I'm in the lobby.
How did you know I was here?
That guy at your place.
You called my house again?
Side note, why would Aiden give another man his girlfriend's location? Bradshaw House of Pain, how can we hurt you? Hey man, where's Carrie? Who's this? Her editor. Why are you calling her after hours? Because, click. There, no more Big. Ask questions, Aiden. Anyway, Carrie is doing a fantastic job of telling Big to fuck off.
This is not the lobby. What are you doing? You're calling my house? You're following me to hotels? You know, I don't have time for this. I have a boyfriend and a deadline.
I was an ass to you on the phone the other day.
Yes.
When I said I was leaving, you didn't say anything, so I got nervous, so I...
What? No, this has to stop. The flirting and the jerking me around and the calling my boyfriend. He doesn't know about you, and I don't want him to ever know about you.
Why is that?
Oh, go lay in your beige bed.
This man spent 2 seasons playing her hot and cold, subtly telling her that he doesn't want a serious relationship, and all but telling her that she's not good enough for him. Yet here he is, knocking back scotch after scotch, whining to Carrie with boozy, hot breath about how he made a mistake and that he misses her.
Carrie, wait, I miss you.
Boo fuckity hoo, John. We cut to Carrie in bed with Big, smoking, something she gave up for Aiden because Carrie always has to lose part of herself whenever she dates a new guy.
I can't date a smoker.
Oh, I've been thinking about quitting anyway, so why not now? 7 hours into the world's longest date, all I could think was 5 more minutes and I can dump this bozo and smoke the emergency cigarette hidden in my purse.
I'm inviting you to go to France, not to jail.
My whole life is here. Could we stay in New York and then just go to Paris for a few months for your show? Then it wouldn't feel like we're moving.
I need to be in Paris now.
Maybe we could do long distance for a while?
It's never worked for me. Someone meets someone gets bored.
I want to go to Paris.
Her peace has been destroyed. She and Big are 2 self-destructive peas in a pod again. This time, they're not just ruining each other, they're ruining 2 innocent people who had the nerve to love them. Carrie's affair is starting to eat at her as she sees Aiden off to Pennsylvania. Because she knows she can't be left to her own devices, lest she end up bringing Big again, she's nervous. She tries to keep herself busy by playing with her shoes, but that doesn't work, and it only delays the inevitable.
2 hours later, I had filed every article I'd ever written, but I still couldn't file away what had happened with Big.
Big brags about betraying his wife, and Carrie insists that it won't happen again.
We need to talk about what happened with us. It was just a physical thing that happened.
Are you wearing glasses?
No,
You sound like you're wearing glasses.
it can't happen again. You're married.
But come on, it was pretty fucking amazing, wasn't it?
I'm still a piece of garbage.
We have to learn to rise above the physical stuff.
You can learn to do that? Next time we're going to a hotel.
Carrie allows Big to talk shit about Aiden in the bed they share.
I can smell the guy on your sheets. Wood chips and Paco Rabanne.
He doesn't wear cologne.
I'm still a piece of garbage.
Maybe he should.
There'll be no next time.
Sure, Jan.
Aiden comes back after schlepping his chair to Pennsylvania and tells Carrie that he loves her.
I love you, Carrie.
This happens literally right after she gets rid of the sheets stained with her and Big's bodily fluids. Carrie is a piece of shit. Later, Carrie and Aiden are enjoying a lazy day doing crossword puzzles when Big interrupts their peace by threatening to obliterate their relationship unless she meets him downstairs so he can run some more game on her.
I'm downstairs. If you don't come down, I'm coming up.
Right, I'll call you later.
Carrie, who does not like dogs, lies to Aiden and tells him she's taking Pete for a walk to have a couple spat with her side piece, who is dressed like a Nickelodeon movie villain.
Do you know what your problem is? You want it all. You want the girl you screw, me, and the girl you go home to, her.
That's bullshit. I just want you.
Because Big is a narcissist and isn't happy with the girl he was probably cheating on Carrie with, he threatens to leave Natasha.
I'm gonna tell her tonight.
What? No! No! You married men don't just leave their... I have a man who loves me, and you have a wife who loves you.
Then Carrie loses Aiden's dog. As a dog lover, I am appalled. Carrie, soaking wet in a see-through shirt and some booty shorts, smoking a loose square, finally decides to go home after being gone for hours. Luckily, Pete found his way home, fully intending to snitch on Carrie with a series of barks. Aiden, who is an idiot, thinks her addiction to menthol is the reason for her extended absence.
I don't want to be paranoid here. You took Pete for a walk, and we both know you're not big on the dog walking. Are you cheating? I can smell the smoke on you.
Damn, he don't got a clue in the fucking world.
Carrie congratulates herself for not getting caught. And then she cheats.
Again and again and again!
Having already told Samantha, Carrie tells Miranda that she's passing bodily fluids between Big and Aiden to cleanse her conscience.
I'm having an affair with Big.
I swear to God, I think my heart just stopped.
Then, while being intimate with Aiden, pissed that he's not big, she rejects his love purrs.
Kissing sound. It's annoying.
Come here, I'll try not to do it anymore.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Aiden throws a tantrum and decides to leave while Carrie lies that she's just going through something, that something being an illicit affair with a narcissistic finance bro. After telling Miranda that she would stop seeing Big, she immediately meets up with Big and gets mistaken for a hooker.
How much?
Excuse me?
I see you here before. For sex. How much?
This is now the second time she's been mistaken for a sex worker while waiting for Big in a lobby.
Your doorman thinks I'm a hooker.
Carrie runs away and ends up getting caught by Charlotte, who rightfully gives her shit.
You know, I was doing business in the area. We kind of bumped into each other.
Charlotte, I better go.
He's married.
That makes you the other woman. You're the other woman.
I am not the other woman. Please, Charlotte. I feel bad enough already.
Good. You should feel bad. Do you ever think about how she'd feel if she found out?
Yes, I think about it all the time.
No, you don't. You think about what would happen to you if she found out. You don't think about her. I'm getting married in 3 weeks. How would you feel if someone did this to me?
Carrie has her umpteenth realization that this is f***ed up, and then Big threatens to tell Natasha again.
I think we should stop seeing each other.
Why? Hand me the phone. I'm gonna call her right now. Hand me the phone.
Because these two idiots love the thrill of getting caught more than anything, neither of them commits to actually being together if they end things with their respective partners. They just ask each other questions without answering because they are both full of shit.
If you really wanted to tell her, you would have told her by now.
What the fuck? You told me not to tell her.
Here, call her.
If I make that call, are you gonna be there for me?
Are we gonna do this, really?
Carrie, in or out?
I need more time.
As Carrie is making herself at home in Big and Natasha's apartment, the unthinkable happens.
Honey?
Natasha is a woman who comes home from the Hamptons early.
Honey, are you here?
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
She's not stealthy, so Carrie's clumsy ass gets discovered by Natasha, who ends up breaking her face chasing after Carrie.
I knew you were having an affair, but not in my house!
Ouch. Carrie helps Natasha get to the hospital, but not before she sticks it to Carrie by making her ass sit in the front of the cab.
Nearest hospital.
Girl, why would you think she's gonna scoot over for you? She waits for Big to finish doing whatever it is he does at work until he arrives. Then Big's boy ass, wife in the hospital with her mouth split open, actually has the nerve to say he'll call her.
I'll call you.
For what? We're so over. We need a new word for over.
Carrie.
Girl, I know you want this.
Carrie goes home minus a blouse to Aiden, who has broken into her apartment waiting with bated breath for her adulterous arrival back home.
Where you been all day?
Just went to museum. I was walking around. Just gonna wash my face. I'll be right in.
She congratulates herself for getting out, even though she was caught, as if that somehow released her from Big for good, and erases the fact that she's been cheating on her boyfriend for an entire month. Now that the affair is over, Carrie is feeling guilt about telling Aiden. Spoiler alert, she tells him. Right before Charlotte's wedding that she's already late for.
Aiden, I slept with my ex-boyfriend. You met him at the furniture show and then we slept together and I didn't tell you and I'm sorry.
Aiden breaks up with her. After finding out that Big's extremely short-lived marriage has also dissolved,
Natasha left Big. Their marriage is over. She's back to working for Ralph Lauren.
she decides to stalk the woman who broke her face chasing after her and convince her that she's not a bad person.
I need to talk to you. I heard about your marriage.
It fails.
Wait, I'm sorry too.
You are?
I'm sorry he cheated on me with you, and I'm sorry that I pretended to ignore it for as long as I did. I'm sorry I found you in my apartment, fell down the stairs and broke my tooth. I'm very sorry that after much painful dental surgery, this tooth is still a different color than this tooth. Finally, I'm sorry that you felt the need to come down here. Now, not only have you ruined my marriage, you've ruined my lunch.
However, if Natasha had somehow forgiven Carrie, it would have been for naught, because Big rings her up the second the last of Natasha's beige furniture is out of his apartment.
What?
It's me. She left. We ended it. Could we have lunch sometime? I really need to talk to you.
Miranda, who has been extremely patient with Carrie while she makes her trillionth mistake with Big, finally lashes out at her upon learning that she's planning on starting round 3 with him.
I'm meeting Big for lunch.
Wait, you're meeting Big?
He called. He sounded upset and he said he needed to talk.
Since when does Big talk?
What does that mean? He's upset about Natasha leaving.
You know what? I'm not holding your hand through this again.
We're just having lunch.
It's a huge mistake.
It is not a huge mistake. It's lunch.
Wake up, Carrie. How many more times are you gonna go through this? He is bad for you. Jesus, every time you get near him, you turn into this pathetic, needy, insecure victim. And the thing that pisses me off the most is that you're more than willing to go right back from work.
I can't believe you would say that to me.
If you start up with Big again...
I am not starting up with Big again.
Well, if you do, I don't want to know anything about it. I mean it, Carrie. No calls, no crying.
Lucky for Carrie, she's the main character. So although she's annoyed her friends with her big bullshit for years to the point where they suggested she see a shrink,
Honey, you're obsessed with talking about Big, and frankly, we can't take it anymore.
You should think about whining to a shrink.
Miranda forgives Carrie for her repeated dumbassery and tells her that she'll be there for her when he eventually breaks her heart again.
Look, I know you think it's a huge mistake. It's just something I feel I need to do to move on or something. But if I'm totally wrong and it is a huge mistake, I need to know you'll be there for me.
I'm there.
The universe is sick of them as well, so they end up falling into a lake once they embrace and hightail it back to Big's place for showers and liken themselves to war buddies for willingly falling into affairs.
How was your shower?
I no longer smell of pond. Really, we're like war buddies. I should go.
Do you want to stay a while?
I can't.
Why?
Because, sweet friend, you and I are like that red wall. It's a good idea in theory, but somehow doesn't quite work.
They seemingly end on good terms. The end. Psych! Carrie's 35th trip around the sun has arrived, and Big drops by for another round of low-effort breadcrumbing.
Happy birthday, baby.
Conveniently, he missed her failed celebration, but when she sees his Pimp-mobile outside of her apartment, she climbs in.
It's after 12. You're late.
Not really. I'm on London time.
I can't believe you actually got out of the car and got balloons.
I didn't. Raul did.
Don't you love how Big always makes it clear that he's not actually putting in the effort, but rather outsourcing tasks to other people?
I just wanted to call and thank you for the flowers. That was very thoughtful of you.
You know, my secretary had it on her calendar, so
So your secretary sent them?
I sent the flowers. My secretary alerted me to the day.
They drink champagne, and then Carrie heads up to her apartment before Big leaves. Later on, idiots number 1 and 2 are enjoying a night out, exchanging witty repartee and flirting. When the night ends, Big then attempts to exchange bodily fluids.
I'll walk you up.
I think I got it from here. There'll be no...
Okay, you're the boss, but I'm always available for the...
Carrie shuts him down, although the audience knows that eventually Carrie will let him clap her cheeks again. When Carrie tells her friends about it the next day, they have the same reaction as they did the last 30 times that she decided to hang out with him after he did her bogus.
Oh, enough about me. What did you do this weekend?
Monkey bar.
With whom?
Big?
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Oh my God. You're sleeping with Big?
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Wait, you're meeting Big?
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Carrie is the most hard-headed person ever, so she gets irritated and tells them to stop caring about her well-being.
Don't you think you should define what you're doing with him?
We're just hanging out. Now that the pressure's off, we're finally just enjoying each other. It's good.
It's a slippery slope, Carrie.
Anyway, so...
Yeah, we might actually have fun.
Have fun, just don't have amnesia.
They continue their non-dating at a jazz club where Tom Ryan from Scary Movie 4 begins to show an interest in Carrie.
Apparently, everyone in the universe wanted me to define my relationship with Big.
Big is pissed because only he can waste Carrie's time.
Ray King.
Hi, I'm Carrie Bradshaw, jazz neophyte. Oh, sorry.
Joey, Glenn Levitt.
Come right up.
So, you own this place?
I do. I own this, one uptown. Hell of a lot of mortgages.
Geez, I gotta go.
You heading uptown?
Yes, I am. Oh, do you need a ride?
That'd be great.
I'll call my car.
This time of night, cabs are lined up outside.
So then we'll take a cab.
Okay, we'll take a cab.
His saltiness extends to the cab ride they share with Cindy Campbell's final love interest.
Sleeps at the club all the time. Sometimes it even hooks up with the snare drum. Cabs are bullshit. Listen, can I get your number?
Yeah. I'm a writer with no pen. Eek. Thank you.
No problem. 6739.
I know.
Then, because he thinks he owns her, he gets out of the cab when Carrie does.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Hey, what are you doing?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. Now he's gonna think we're together.
What, you like the pork pie hat?
That's not the point.
Well, I'll tell you, he had some breath on him.
Okay, Big, you're a whole alcoholic. I don't think you should be judging anyone's breath.
How many drinks have you had? An hour and 2 bottles of red wine later.
Not nearly enough.
You have a wife and apparently a drinking problem. I thought everything...
Let's go have a drink or something. I flew out to L.A. to take her to that MTV award thing. Any more wine?
Carrie is mildly annoyed but attempts to define their relationship, which Big sort of does, although he still makes it clear that he eventually wants to clap some cheeks.
All right. We gotta figure out what we're doing here. What are we?
We're friends. How's that?
What kind of friends?
Friends who listen to jazz, friends who eat pizza, friends who...
Oh no, there will be no...
Big Spidey sense, his boy radar, if you will, goes off once he knows the jazz guy called Carrie. So then he calls. Twice.
Hello?
You don't want to hear that song, I Think of You?
Oh, can you hang on a second? Hello?
What are you doing?
I can't talk right now.
Pork pie?
Look, I gotta go.
Carrie likes a jazz musician.
Sorry.
I'd like to take you out on Saturday night.
Okay, I'd like that.
Don't bring the angry guy. See ya.
What do you want?
What do you see in that guy?
He knows when to say goodbye.
Carrie and Ray have a double date with Samantha and her soon-to-be girlfriend when Big Stalker Ash shows up with a Xanax-style blonde model because, remember, he's a modelizer.
You remember?
Oh, yeah. Hey, man. Oh, this is Shaw. She's a supermodel. Oh, Carrie, I'd like you to meet Misha.
Hi, you were great in the show.
Thank you.
Another reminder, Big clearly prefers classically pretty brunettes, but he made sure to grab someone who somewhat resembled Carrie to make her jealous. His shitty attitude banishes Ray and Carrie to the bar, and Sam ends up confronting Big.
Hey.
If it's okay with you, I'm gonna camp out here for a while. That table is bad.
So, you and Carrie are just friends now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you're just friends, what exactly do you think you're doing? But she's fragile, and she's my best friend. So I suggest you back off.
However, when Big sees that Carrie isn't that fazed by his pimp tactics this time, he leaves, ego deflated.
Listen, we're gonna go. Oh, see you later.
Okay.
Anyway, Carrie hates jazz and people with ADHD, so she eventually dumps Ray and starts stalking Aiden so she can begin round 2 with him, clearly inspired by Big's treatment of her.
You haven't been out here since I went up, have you?
She even claims that she's missed him for months, although this is the literal first time she's talked about him at length with the girls since they've broken up. For whatever reason, Aiden takes Carrie back.
Okay, let's give it a shot.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
And then is immediately warned by the universe to let her pine over Big in peace when he calls while they're mid-bonage.
Hey, kid. What's shaking? I'm back in town. Call me, baby.
Aiden is so mad at Carrie that he takes it out on her shoulder.
Now I'm practically perfect, don't you think? Ow, ow. Well, that kind of hurt.
I was just making sure it was on good and tight.
A piece of garbage.
After a series of passive-aggressive jabs at Carrie, they finally address the big elephant in the room.
Do you want to come in?
Too pissed to come in. I hate that he calls here.
Nothing's happening. I would never do that to you again.
I don't want you to see him ever again.
Can't do that.
Bruh.
He's in my life.
That's right. Carrie is hell-bent on keeping Mr. Eyebrows in her life, even at the expense of the boyfriend she cheated on him with. Carrie is
a piece of garbage.
Because Aiden has no spine, he takes Carrie back. She goes to his shack out in the country and gets so bored that she runs off to have dinner with Big behind his back the first chance she gets.
4 hours later, I kissed Aiden goodbye, kicked the mud off my boots, and had a New York steak with my New York ex.
Maybe I should get back to the city. I have that meeting to get ready for.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Turns out, Eyebrows is madly in love with yet another classically beautiful brunette lady who looks a lot like his ex-wife, I might add, and has no problem rubbing it in Carrie's face.
If you ever meet someone, I want you to feel
I met someone.
Well. Oh.
She's an actress, Willow Summers. We talked, had a few went up to her hotel, dress comes off, red panties, kept her high heels on. I lifted her up, I put her on the bed.
Okay, this way.
Carrie pretends to not be pissed off while she listens to him gush over someone the way that he most likely never gushed over her.
The thing of it is, I can't get her out of my head. She's crazy about me. Willow Summers is crazy about me. When I walked home from her hotel, I thought, this is something. There's something here. I think I'm in love.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not.
Carrie and Aiden are about to go to bed in matching saggy okay. When Big calls, upset that the way he treated Carrie is now biting him in the ass.
Fred Childs of Bane, how can we hurt you?
Hey, man, it's me. Is Carrie there?
Yeah, just a sec.
Hello?
I need to talk to you. I have to talk to you. Well, I really need to talk to you. I need to see you. Hey, I want to talk to you. I have to see you. I need to talk. Look, I really need to talk to you. Call me as soon as you get this. Carrie, call me. I need to talk to you.
It's really not a good time. We're about to go to bed.
It's important. Willow is totally f***ing with my head. Please.
He's having girlfriend problems. I'm gonna be just a minute. What's the problem?
She's in town. She's at the Mercer. We were supposed to get together tonight. She hasn't gotten back to me. I called all 5 of her numbers. She never answers. She can reach me, but I can't ever get her. She can reach me, but I can't get her. She can reach me, but I can't get her. She could reach me, but I could never get her. She could reach me.
Oh my God. Shut up. Like, okay, they get it.
Aiden is obviously pissed because Carrie is still emotionally invested in the guy who was secretly cucking him. This culminates in Big, who clearly has no friends, calling Carrie to whine about being ghosted.
What's the matter? You sound terrible.
She broke it off. She said she never wants to see me again.
Big doesn't have a therapist to cry to, so he imposes on Carrie and comes to Aiden's cabin so he can talk to her, when really he's marking his territory to let Aiden know that he's number one.
When are you coming back to the city?
Monday? I'd invite you out here, but it's just so far away.
How far?
It's 40 minutes.
I'll get my Jag out of the garage. Maybe the drive will do me good.
She sheepishly tells Aiden, who should have put her and her shoes the fuck out of his cabin at this point, but because he's stupid, he allows it.
I invited him up.
I don't want him in my house.
Look, he's gonna come up here and we're gonna have a quick talk, and then he is gonna go right back to the city where he belongs. I would never do this, but he's really hurting. Come on, haven't you ever had a girl break your...
Still a piece of garbage.
Well, he better be f***ing upset when he gets here. There better be tears.
Bruh.
Big shows up and honks for Carrie to come outside, in the rain, like a pimp waiting for one of his girls to bring him his money. Carrie talks to Aiden for a moment before Big actually suggests kidnapping her and going to a bar like Aiden isn't right there spying on the two of them in the window.
I don't want to go in. Let's go have a drink or something.
Come on, turn off the car and come inside. We'll talk, all right?
Eventually, Big is cajoled inside and he immediately starts drinking all of Hayden's wine before attempting to smoke.
An hour and 2 bottles of red wine later.
Wait, listen to this one. I'm looking for that someone special. She's not looking for anybody. Bullshit. Any more wine?
Nope.
Let's go have a drink and a smoke sometime.
Hey, you can't smoke in the house.
Huh?
You can't smoke in the house.
Although he promised to leave after he was done boo-hooing, he's too drunk to drive home.
Look at him, he can't drive.
So now he has to sleep over. Carrie is torturing Aiden at this point.
You can't drive. Sleep on the couch.
I bet he probably put a large piece of furniture in front of the bedroom door before they went to bed as an added precaution. Since he can't beat up Carrie, Aiden just passive-aggressively messes with Big until he and Pete jump him.
What's that pounding?
Aiden's shooting hoops. You have to go out there and make friends with him.
Hey, man. Sorry about last night.
Child. Anyway, so.
Here, why don't you give me a shot? I play a little. Watch it, man. That was a little hard.
You're going down! You're going down! That dog just bit my ass!
Oh, y'all want to jump?
Somehow they become civil after this.
She could reach me. I couldn't get her. That's f***ed up. Good eggs.
Okay, I need to know what type of magic Carrie has between her legs at this point. Then again, she is the main character, and it probably helps that she doesn't practice safe sex.
I'm late. I missed my period.
You gonna tell Mr. Big?
I did have an abortion. The condom broke. Okay, that's another lie. There was no condom. Wait, I have to put my diaphragm in. I had slept in Biggs and my sheets for 2 days. Carrie! Do you have any condoms? Why do you think I would have any?
I think that those only slut people use the condom, not I'm not a slut.
For whatever reason, after all of this drama, Aiden decides that Carrie's worth marrying, although she literally puked at the thought of losing half of her last name. However, she'll be sure to rub this in Big's face just like she did in season 1 when she was considering marrying Stanford to help him seem straight and, of course, to spend his inheritance.
How are things with Country Bab?
I think he wants to marry me.
Because if there's one thing Carrie's going to do, it's triangulate her current partners, her best friend, and or potential buddies against Big.
We got a marriage proposal last night.
Really?
I just want to let you know this very cool novelist wants to take me home. His name is Jared. He's really cute and really successful. And he just put his arms around me. I'm here on a date to somewhere. It's Dr. Bradley Migo. He's good on paper, probably like Natasha.
He's not the guy for you.
He might be the guy for me. I'm just not ready yet.
You're never gonna be ready, baby. You're not the marrying kind.
Carrie never wanted to marry Aiden in the first place.
I want to live my life with you. What do you think?
Yes.
So the engagement dissolves.
You don't even wear that ring on your finger.
Carrie, clearly not knowing how property works and having no real money saved despite her insanely cheap rent,
I pay $750 for something that's twice the size.
has to buy back her old apartment.
Aiden's evicting her?
So she sulks back to Big to inform him that she's single again.
Aiden and I broke up.
What happened?
Apparently you were right. I am not the marrying kind.
You're not the marrying kind.
Oh, and to ask him for $40,000. Big gives her the money and she promptly rips out the check, making this visit entirely pointless. She bullies Charlotte for not offering and successfully guilts her into giving up her ring to pay for her place. Our heroine, ladies and gentlemen. I bet she still hasn't paid Charlotte back. Carrie calls Big randomly because she's lonely and goes to his apartment with pizza in tow.
Get it while it's hot. Bonjour. Voilà le French hat. Voilà le French fry.
At this point, we should just call Big Oppenheimer because he drops yet another bomb on Carrie upon her arrival.
All your furniture is gone.
See, this is why I'm leaving New York. The crime.
Leaving New York?
I may have to move to Paris for work, just for a while. I'm moving.
You are not moving.
Tell that to my realtor in Napa.
In California?
Okay, does anyone else think that he engaged in some shady business practices and had to flee New York to wait for the heat to die down? Despite how entwined they've been in each other's lives, despite becoming each other's side pieces and exchanging enough bodily fluids to fill the East River, Big still didn't have enough respect for Carrie to let her know that he's moving to California.
Moving when?
Monday at 5.
And what, if I hadn't happened to call tonight, you were just gonna quietly go away without telling me?
I would expect nothing less from him at this point, but Carrie is still shocked like she didn't remember the whole Paris mess.
I would have called you.
Why the you lying?
After dodging Carrie's attempts to create a romantic final evening in New York,
You can't slink out of town this way. We have to do it up right. A proper goodbye.
How's that wine?
they slow dance and Carrie begins falling in love with him again. She even tells her friends at brunch that she's planning on having sex with him again before he leaves for good.
Okay, now the tough question.
Should you sleep with him one last time?
Exactly.
No.
They have a horse and buggy ride, which Big doesn't look particularly excited about.
I can't believe you actually talked me into this. A buggy ride in Central Park. Very corny.
And right before they're about to clap cheeks, Miranda goes into labor.
Your cell phone's ringing.
Miranda? Hi, I'm in labor. Meet me at Mount Sinai at 99th and 5th.
Good job, Brady. They have another exchange where no questions are answered.
You leave tomorrow at 5? How about lunch? I'll come over around 2?
I can't believe you're leaving me alone with a horse and buggy.
And after Carrie is done actually being a good friend, she rushes back to Big's apartment.
It's not even 5.
Carrie, do you know how flights work? Besides, girl, he's running from the feds. Since Big is still slippery and avoidant as all hell, he leaves Carrie a vinyl, knowing good and damn well that she doesn't own a record player, and a plane ticket to California so she can get flued out to come hop on his d- whenever he's in the mood. And with Big's final boy gesture, Carrie walks home and season 4 ends. Season 5 is just weird to me. And it's not even because it's the shortest season, or because of Carrie's hair, or because she begins dating this loser. It's because Carrie is acting so weird. Like, everything she does is so over the top and extra during this season.
If this were a French movie, we'd fall in love and get married. No, I was just pointing out how romantic this would be in a movie. I don't want to marry you. Okay, I do.
Ooh. Am I cold?
No, you're hot. Very hot. Now please, kiss me. Or at least lie on top of me.
I know the season is short because she, along with Cynthia Nixon, were both pregnant at the time, but it's almost like Carrie developed character amnesia or something. I say that because in this season, Carrie seemingly forgets literally everything Big put her through. From lying about why he got divorced.
What happened?
Alienation of affection followed by divorce.
You dropped this big bomb. You don't even tell me why you broke up.
I cheated on her.
To withholding that damn Paris move.
I may have to move to Paris.
How long have you known about this?
It's been in the works for a while.
To forcing her into an affair. To blocking her new relationships.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Hey.
And then skipping town without telling her. Carrie just wants to ignore literally all of this because she desperately needs to get laid.
Guys, I need to have sex. I need to feel the weight of a man on me. Big is my male prostitute. I am mixing business with much needed pleasure.
I guess she doesn't want her number to go up this season. Carrie completely dismisses the plane tickets he left her before he abruptly peaced out to run from the feds, and instead decides to drag Samantha with her on a train to California from New York. Like I said in the second video, Samantha was a real one for this.
I got a new diaphragm and it's stuck. I'm either gonna have to make an emergency visit to my gynecologist, or one of you is gonna have to give me a hand.
Go.
Listen, Samantha was a real one for this.
See, I did say that.
Because being stuck on a train in a cramped room with Carrie obsessing over a damn pimple for 3 days is no small feat. When Carrie gets to her underwhelming book signing, she decides against clapping cheeks because now her mood is ruined. Her pimple has rendered her hideous, and nobody gives a shit about her book. Samantha goes back to the hotel to relax, and Carrie trudges through her reading.
As I walked home, I couldn't help but wonder, was it Mr. Big? Was it New York? Or was it me? Does anyone have a question? Yes.
When is Mr. Winkle coming out?
Then suddenly...
Yes, I see a hand, but I can't see the man. I no longer cared about Mr. Winkle. I had Mr. Big.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
So then Carrie, ever the pygmisha, does this to her best friend, the woman who dug a diaphragm out of her love box, went out to visit her at Aiden's AC-less home in the sweltering heat just because she was bored.
It's hotter in here than it is outside. Can't we turn on the air conditioning or something? There is no air conditioner. What time's the next train? Can't go. You have to entertain me when Aiden goes to bed in about an hour. You lured me here under false pretenses.
Helped with her book cover for free.
I'll talk to the publishers. When's the photo shoot? It's next Thursday, but Samantha, I can't afford you. It'll cost you 2 martinis and a lunch.
Organized a party for said book for free, only to be constantly mocked by Carrie for her appearance.
I'm here! This is Samantha Jones, beekeeper. What are you doing over there? Talk to the man. Let him see your face. There she was, my +1. Hi, I've had a chemical peel. I'm Carrie's publicist. Could you at least separate the two thoughts? Chemical peel, Carrie's publicist? You look like beef carpaccio. Failed down, I think. Wait, no. The hat was gone. This is my party and you're scaring people. I've had a chemical peel, and she's not afraid to say it. I love you, but your face. Bruh. Do you mind if I go home? I thought you'd never ask. Honey, I wouldn't have gone out in public like this for anyone but you. I know, and I have to live with that.
And slept in a tiny room on a train with her for 3 days.
Samantha! I'm taking a bubble bath! Get out. Big's here. I need to have sex. I'm taking a bath! I got you a smaller room all to yourself.
Why didn't Carrie take the extra room? Oh, and the cherry on top?
Can you hurry? I told him to come up about half an hour. So, snap it up faster.
With Carrie's libido up to 11,
All the way up. Yeah. All the way up.
she is finally ready for Big's arrival. I guess it has been a really long time because it's like she forgot how to act normal around him and reverts to this cringy, coquettish way of flirting that just pisses me off.
I got you some gum.
Wow. Aren't you something? Want some? You look good.
So do you, kid.
Then she almost killed Big.
My gum. Christ, you surprised me.
Sorry.
It's gonna be in my digestive tract for 7 years.
Let me kiss you and make it all better. How's that?
Big essentially forces her to have dinner with him because even when he's being considerate, he's still a controlling ass.
We better go. Dinner reservations.
Oh, I'm not hungry.
We have to go. I promised my partners I'd make a little vineyard connection with the restaurant owner. So let's go. We'll have a nice meal and catch up.
Okay.
Look, I have to do things on my time frame.
I have to do things on my time frame. At dinner, Big is reflecting on their relationship having read her book.
I pass a bookstore, and there you are, right in the window, next to the real books. Next to the real books.
Oh, sir, you are too kind.
Carrie wastes no time in downplaying her accomplishments and how badly he treated her to get Big in bed with her, but her attempts continuously fall flat.
I had no idea that I hurt you so much.
You've read my columns?
Not all at one sitting.
Oh, come on. That's fiction. Fiction. I embellished.
No, Carrie, some of that stuff really happened.
It's all in the past. Now let's forget all that and talk about something else.
You know that chapter about my apartment key? Was I really that big of an ass?
Back at the hotel room, Big is still remorseful about their relationship, and Carrie is still trying to minimize herself so Eyebrows can lay on top of her for a few minutes.
When have I ever been cold? Am I cold?
Can we please stop talking?
Look, I just don't want you to get hurt again.
I won't. What happened in New York was all my fault. I didn't read the signs. It was all me.
That is not correct.
Now please, kiss me.
I think it's very clear from this book that when it comes to me, you do not have good judgment.
That's fiction. It's not even a bestseller.
I just don't want to do something here that I'll be sorry for later.
Well, looks like she put Samantha out of the room for literally nothing because Big is clearly not planning to smash tonight. Carrie wakes up in the morning preparing to head back to New York City with unclapped cheeks when all of a sudden...
Where are you going? I have 2 book readings this morning before I head back to New York. Come here. No. What about last night? All that talk, all those concerns. You'll need material for the sequel.
What? Okay, I guess Big got character-induced amnesia too, because what the actual fuck? You mean to tell me that literally right before she basically has work to do, after giving her the female version of blue balls all night, after faking like you're remorseful about how you repeatedly shit on this woman's heart, after pretending to respect her enough to not complicate the relationship any further with sex, now that you have morning wood, you're ready to smash?
I have to do things on my time.
You and your eyebrows!
Somehow, this is a happy ending to the episode, even though Carrie was most likely a little late and frazzled to her last reading. Samantha asks how it went, and Carrie basically tells her to shut up.
So, how did it go with Mary? We had sex, but it was not as simple as I had hoped. What does that mean? The question and answer section of this reading is now over.
Bitch, if you put me out of a hotel room while I was taking a bath, you can at least give me a preview. Then, to further prove how little Carrie deserves her as a friend, Samantha went ahead and booked a flight back to New York City because she can't stand being around Carrie for another 3 days and would prefer to condense it to 6 hours.
Right, get real. American Airlines, first class, and some value.
In the final season of the show, Big some more. Season 6 features the last of Carrie's major love interests, the first being Ron Livingston reprising his role as a snarky, lazy smartass dating a blonde who was out of his league, and the second being Mikhail Baryshnikov, who gave up ballet to play with a bunch of LED tube lights. Big calls Carrie while golfing, fully embracing his new identity.
Hello.
I'm with 2 men in plaid pants and I'm carrying a 9-iron. Greetings from California.
He checks Carrie's temperature as the last time he talked to her, attempting to initiate phone sex, she turned him down, letting him know that she's in a new relationship.
Remember the time we were in the jacuzzi in the Four Seasons?
Okay. We won't be having any more of those calls. I started seeing someone.
So you mean to tell me she could do this for Burger's ass, but not Aiden?
I hate that he calls here. I don't want you to see him ever again.
Can't do that.
Bruh.
Anyway, Big is trying to see if her new relationship has enough cracks in it for him to keep messing with her head.
So how's it going with that guy, Hot Dog?
Burger. Why do you ask?
Because I'm checking to see if my fuckboy radar still works.
Actually, we're taking it slow.
What's that mean?
Well, we're kind of taking a break.
You're taking a break?
A little break. I don't know why I told him.
You haven't been together that long. Where are you taking a break from?
Well, sometimes a person needs a little space.
From you? This guy must be crazy.
You want your own apartment?
Just a place that I can go 2 days a week, do the shit I want to do that bugs you.
So you're telling me that you want 2 days off a week from our marriage?
Or you're breaking up?
No, we're not. Burger and I will...
You're breaking up.
No, we're not.
After the dissolution of Carrie's struggle relationship with Hot Dog, Carrie meets up with Big, who has successfully avoided the feds and returned to NYC for heart surgery.
What's on your New York agenda? Making some deals, breaking some hearts.
I'm having a little heart thing done. They found a blockage, so I'm getting a, angioplasty.
Carrie is right back to acting extra, as evidenced by her reaction to the news.
Carrie, calm down.
This is the literal worst fake crying I've ever seen in my life.
They do 1 million of these a day. It's like having your teeth cleaned.
I don't mind. Well, I mind. I mind big time.
Big has no soul and clearly doesn't care about his potential mortality, so he doesn't even bother trying to comfort Carrie, who is just worried that he might literally perish during this procedure.
Calm down.
Miss?
She's fine.
Cut them tears out.
Could you bring some extra napkins, some violins?
Because Big has no friends, no family, I guess his mom passed, no cordial exes or interested parties who care about his well-being, Carrie is the only one who visits him at the hospital.
I'm alive.
Such an easy mark. Such an easy mark.
When she starts up that fake-ass crying fit again, the nurse thinks they're married.
Oh boy, there she goes again. Old waterworks. Come on, take it easy.
Hey man, you can't be crying around like no bitch, man.
She's worried about you. Your husband will be fine.
No, I'm not. He's not my husband.
Sis, you're like 5 years off. Carrie calls the hospital to check in on Big, but
Hi, can I please be connected to room 817?
That patient left the hospital this morning.
Literally running from Carrie like he ran from the feds, Carrie does what she does best and chases after him.
How'd you find me?
I figured you were at the Four Seasons, and here you are.
You know I'd invite you in, Sniffles, but I've run out of Kleenex.
He doesn't even invite her inside after successfully tracking him down, but goes along with it once he realizes that she can serve as his temporary nurse.
I'm Candy. You're a candy striper.
This woman literally put on a costume after chasing him down to take care of him after he didn't even bother to let her know that he was leaving the hospital.
Well, look at you all dressed up.
I'm running around town in a beret.
You sexy Carrie.
Interesting dress.
I showed up at his apartment wearing my secret weapon skirt and casual Carrie.
I'm sure this will end well. Big has an extremely short-lived moment of clarity when he finally sees that Carrie has stuck around the longest and would most likely continue to stick around if he has more heart problems in the future.
Seriously, kid, you and me, the early bird special?
Thinking he might die, he dangles a long-term relationship in her face, the same one he's been dangling for years when he starts to feel weak.
What are we doing?
You mean, what are you doing?
I'm talking about us. Life's too short.
They fall asleep together, and Carrie thinks that she now has an in. After years of the back and forth, multiple women...
Carrie, I'd like you to meet Misha. Carrie, this is Julia Woods. Melissa.
He had an ex-wife named Barbara.
Oh, Carrie, this is Natasha.
Oh, this is Shaw. Willow Summers.
2 affairs.
Hey, good morning.
Perry, I see you. I knew you were having an affair, but not in my house.
Aiden, I slept with my ex-boyfriend.
And 2 injuries.
Right?
No! Stop! I'm talking to you.
Carrie has finally earned her prize, the half-assed love of an emotionally unavailable, friendless, narcissistic finance bro.
The next day.
Hey, how long have you been up?
Just a few minutes.
How you feeling?
I feel like myself again.
Get your mother hand out of my face.
That's right. Just like last season, Big Slumber undoes everything he said the night before. You know Carrie is probably punching the air, wishing that he was an insomniac. Then he knocks over the dominoes that she meticulously set up.
And I'm still a piece of garbage.
As disappointing as this was, it seems like Carrie got the closure she needed to leave him alone once and for all. She's out of fake tears and finally understands that Big will never change. Later, Carrie goes on to date Alexander Petrovsky, a super pretentious artist who tries to force Carrie to move to Paris with him because, remember, Carrie has to give up a part of who she is whenever she dates someone new.
I'm inviting you to go to France.
My whole life is here. Could we stay in New York and then just go to Paris for a few months for your show?
I need to be in Paris now.
Maybe we could do long distance for a while?
Someone meets someone gets bored.
Voulez-vous an ultimatum?
Carrie sees her older, unmarried friend fall out of a window and decides that she needs to leave NYC with Alex pronto before she's the only single person amongst her friend group.
I want to go to Paris.
I actually understand where she's coming from in this regard. Nothing sucks more than feeling like you're the one who is stagnating while your friends are experiencing major milestones in their lives. However, Carrie is making yet another rash decision that primarily serves her partner and not her.
You moved on, Charlotte's moved on, even Samantha's moved on. I can stay here and write about my life, or I can go with him and live my life.
You mean his life?
Because Big still has his boy radar, knowing that Carrie is in another serious relationship causes him to begin spamming her machine again.
Hey, kid. Give me a call. Playing hard to get, huh? Hey, I want to talk to you. Call me. Carrie, it's me. Again, did I do something to tick you off? If I did, call me and I'll apologize, okay? Carrie, it's me. I'm in town. Look, I'd really like to see you, so call me. Same number, and in case you've forgotten, it's...
Hey, Steven, it's checking in. Give me a ring. Pick up. Okay, I'm home. Give me a buzz when you get it in. I was just taking a whiz. Thought you might have called. We're having ourselves quite a little game of phone tag here.
Carrie isn't phased and deletes them all. Good job. You still shouldn't be moving. Big is controlling and has to do everything on his time frame. So although Carrie is ignoring him, he shows up to her apartment, a bucket of breadcrumbs in hand, ready to officially, maybe kinda sorta, start round 3 with her.
Well, if Muhammad won't come to the mountain.
Meanwhile, 4 unreturned calls later, my number was up.
I'm downstairs. If you don't come down, I'm coming up.
Hello?
I'm in the lobby.
I'd invite you out here, but it's just so far away.
I have to see you. I'll come up for an hour.
How do I get there? Can I talk to you?
I'm late for dinner with the girls.
It's 5:45. Come on, get in. It's cold.
Carrie is so done at this point, so she doesn't even want to let him talk because it's all game anyways.
I'm sorry for not returning your calls.
Yeah, I was starting to feel like a needy chick. Did I do something to piss you off? What are we doing?
How you feeling?
I feel like myself again.
Get your motherfucking hand.
I've just been busy with other things.
Look, I know
It's fine. You were fine.
Would you let me finish? And since then,
There's really no point.
Plus, she just said she's having dinner with her friends, the people who actually don't flake on her or make her feel like she's an afterthought at the drop of a hat. She leaves and attempts to run off, but Big isn't done yet.
I'm going there with a man that I'm in a relationship with. He's wonderful, and I'm happy. Please don't feel bad about anything. Goodbye.
Wait. What do you mean goodbye?
I said what I said.
I have to go.
Carrie, stop. What are you doing? Saying goodbye and jumping out of the car like that.
Finally, Carrie sees Big's pattern and she calls it out. It is glorious.
Are you moving to Paris? When were you going to tell me?
I may have to move to Paris.
When did you plan on telling me?
I'm leaving New York.
And what, if I hadn't happened to call tonight, you were just gonna quietly go away without telling me? Hi, can I please be connected to room 817?
That patient left the hospital this morning.
Really, nigga?
You do this every time. Every time! What, do you have some kind of radar? Carrie might be happy it's time to sweep in and all over over it?
No, look, I came here to tell you something. I made a mistake. You and I.
You and I... Nothing! You cannot do this to me again! You cannot jerk me around!
It is different.
Oh,
this
it's
time.
never different. It's 6 years of never being different. I am done. Don't call me ever again. Forget you know my number. Forget you know my name. And you can drive down the street all you want. Because I don't live here anymore.
Oh, now that's how you feel. I don't know who that hoe is.
Sure, now that I'm with someone else, now that I'm leaving, it's different. I'm mostly upset about him ruining my last night in New York. After the rain, after the dinner, after the dancing, I took Big for a ride. Well, him.
Unfortunately, this doesn't last. Does it ever? Because not even, a couple of weeks
I've only been here a week.
after she moves to Paris, she already hates it.
It's harder than I thought. I don't speak the language, and it's too cold and rainy to walk around all day. You know, I'm alone a lot. I keep thinking about what it would be like if I'd come here with Big.
Although literally everyone told her that he was a workaholic and she would come second to his job.
And I couldn't quite get used to always coming second. It was not for me.
He had a wandering eye. Wandered right over to my best friend.
She doesn't listen, and this culminates in her bitching him out for missing a small get-together her adoring French fans set up for her.
Mademoiselle?
I went to my party.
How was it?
It was over. How could you just abandon me like that when I gave up my party to be with you?
Back in New York, while Charlotte is visiting Carrie's apartment, she checks her messages and hears one from Big.
It's me. I know you said you never wanted me to call you again. I love you.
Because he only has these feelings for her when he can't have her, Charlotte uses this knowledge to her advantage.
Well, God knows I've made a lot of mistakes with Carrie. You three know her better than anyone. And if you think I have the slightest chance, I'll be on the next plane to Paris.
Go get our girl.
Carrie and Alex break up, and Big flies to Paris after her friends practically sent him to go collect her for them because they miss her. All of that, you and I, nothing stuff goes out of the window when she sees him, happy to have an excuse to return to New York and finally be with the man who was stringing her along for 6 years.
It took me a really long time to get here. But I'm here. Carrie, you're the one.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Big has run out of women to use and abuse, and he knows Carrie will entertain him the longest, so he says what he couldn't say in season 1.
Just tell me I'm the one.
Carrie, you're the one.
And just like that, Carrie and Big are back together. Big has dodged the feds long enough to move back to New York.
Look out, New York. I'm a-coming.
And Carrie still owes Charlotte $40,000.
I want you to take the ring for your down payment.
And I'll pay you back, you know that, right? And I'll pay you back.
Hello, lover.
You will come shopping with me right now.
How many new outfits have you bought for this movie? Be honest.
6. All returnable. We go out for drinks Friday night. I'll wear my new Prada.
Oh, excellent. Oh, excellent. It's a check from our publishers. They sold my book in Paris. It's an advance from France.
Here. For you.
For you.
Go!
And I'll pay you back.
I'm meeting him tomorrow. Cute, huh?
Hello. Okay.
And I'll pay you back.
Honeymoon at a romantic Mexican resort that's prepaid on my credit card because I wanted to surprise the man who jilted me. If I find the desk, the writing will come, and it better come because I'm using my new book advance to pay the fancy decorator.
And I'll pay.
Yay. We return to NYC a mere 4 years after Big and Carrie have reignited their relationship, officially making this round 3.
Just tell me I'm the one. Can't do this. Well, maybe I can't do this anymore.
I understand. Carrie, you're the one.
They're now looking to merge their lives because they're still living separately after dating on and off for 10 years. Now, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that because, the dynamics in every relationship can be different. But for Big and Carrie, it seems like the dynamic is still the same, and that Carrie is most likely coming to Big's place more often than not.
I hate that I don't have a key to your place. You've never spent the night at my place.
The Four Seasons won't check you in until 1.
Did you want to come up?
Absolutely.
As it was in the original series. Granted, Big does actually use his kitchen, but Aiden and Alex both cooked in Carrie's kitchen. Just saying. After yet another letdown, they're shown a home that isn't on the market yet.
Oh my God.
Carrie immediately falls in love with it, and then, just like in season 6 with Big's nurse,
Your husband will be fine.
No, I'm not. He's not my husband.
one of the realtors assumes that Carrie is Big's wife.
Hello, I live here.
Your wife has quite a sense of humor.
They're not married.
He's my boyfriend.
Aren't I a little old to be introduced as your boyfriend?
Point taken. From now on, you'll be my man friend.
Okay, we're gonna put a pin in this for later.
Welcome home, baby.
Can we afford this?
I got it.
Carrie wastes zero time in bragging to her friends about living in a Fifth Avenue penthouse until Miranda has to be the one to remind Carrie that she should probably really think about this.
So he bought it and you'll live there with him?
Yes, together, that's right.
But he'll own it, so you're keeping your own place, right?
Miranda.
Carrie doesn't give a damn about that pesky reality thing. It's the same aloof attitude that got her in the mess with Aiden, but Carrie's gonna carry.
Aiden's evicting her? This is more than fair. He's asking you to buy your apartment for the exact price he paid, or you can vacate and he'll sell it.
Vacate? I'm homeless.
Finally understanding that she needs to have an actual serious conversation with Big, something that these two seem to barely, if ever, do. At his place, while they're making dinner, Carrie brings up her plans to sell her place so they can buy the penthouse together.
I'm thinking I'm going to sell my apartment and put the money towards Heaven on Fifth.
You love your apartment.
I know, but there's plenty of room in the new place, and I want it to be ours.
It is ours. I bought it for us.
You bought it. So really, it's your place, and if anything were to happen...
What's going to happen? I just left. I can't do this.
I have to be smart here. We're not married. I'd have no legal rights.
Okay, now I have questions. Why is only Carrie the one considering selling her place? Is Big selling his place too, or are they going to rent it out for passive income? Why couldn't Carrie just sublet her apartment like Charlotte did when she was with Trey?
When we get back to the city, I think we should separate for a while.
Charlotte came home to her old apartment. It was good fortune that she had only sublet it, not to mention good sense.
Why exactly couldn't Carrie's name also be on the deed when unmarried couples buy homes together all the time? Am I missing something here? Like, did she really have to just outright sell it? I don't know. I just think once I get a piece of property that's in my name, it would take a lot for me to just give it up.
Did you want to get married?
Something about Big trying to leave Carrie out of this process and then using marriage to distract her just seems a little sus to me. Obviously, Carrie perks up at the idea of becoming Big's wife, even if at its core, it's a last-minute business move because Big doesn't seem particularly excited about it and didn't even outright ask her to marry him.
What, do you want to get married?
I wouldn't mind being married to you. Would you mind being married to me?
What kind of shit is that?
Not if that's what you wanted. Is that what you want?
I want you. Okay.
We're getting married?
We're getting married. Should we get you a diamond?
Just get me a really big closet.
And just like that, Carrie is now a real estate bride.
Is this a real estate merger? Am I a real estate bride?
She tells the girls at lunch the next day, and Charlotte fangirls out as probably the only Carrie and Big stan of the group.
The other night, Big and I were talking about our future, and we decided to get married. Big and I decided to get married. Feels so different this time.
What makes you think it's going to be any different this time? Don't you think you should define what you're doing with him?
We're just hanging out. It's fun.
Have fun, just don't have amnesia.
He's been doing this for years, and I'm done with it.
Really? Well, that's great. I gotta go. This is my friend, and she just got engaged, and she has been going out with the man for 10
Okay.
While Carrie is treating the wedding casually at first,
The invitation is fancier than the dress.
a feature in page 6,
Carrie Bradshaw will be married to New York financier John James Preston come fall. Our wedding's on page 6.
Who would put that in there? Who would put that in there?
and then being the star of a Vogue photo shoot prompts Carrie to treat it more like a fairy tale. It is her first wedding after all. By the way, I absolutely despise how this show, which is supposed to be feminist, keeps reiterating manosphere talking points about how women past a certain age are too old to fall in love, let alone get married.
We're calling it The Last Single Girl.
I'm hardly the last single girl.
No, but 40 is the last age a woman can be photographed in a wedding gown without the unintended Diane Arbus subtext.
I thought the issue was great style at every age.
Style, yes. Bride, no.
Carrie has her wedding dress montage, and then the Vivienne Westwood, rest in peace, sends her the dress she tried on for the photo shoot.
And just like that, Vivienne Westwood kicked my sweet little suit's ass.
Yeah, this dress is going to need a bigger audience for sure. However, the mood is ruined when we cut back to Big and Carrie, at his place, of course, probably having their first bit of communication about the wedding since she mentioned it was a blurb in page 6. Big is more concerned with the house that he's buying, so Carrie and her stupid wedding talk doesn't matter to him.
Which would make the guest list 201.
200? It went up again?
It's the dress.
You said 75 people.
Big, who has been married before, 2 times I might add, and literally said earlier while they were apartment shopping,
Aren't I a little old to be introduced as your boyfriend?
is suddenly feeling the pressure and lets Carrie, who has never been married, have it.
I don't have time for this.
You're not taking it seriously.
No, I'm not. It is a circus. 200 people? Page 6? This is my 3rd marriage. How do you think that makes me look?
Why can't Carrie ever get what she wants in this relationship? She can't have a nice wedding because of how it makes him feel. I know they're both awful at communicating with each other.
Why do we break up?
You tell me. How old are you?
How old are you?
If I make that call, are you going to be there for me?
Are we gonna do this really?
Carrie, in or out?
Why didn't you call?
Why didn't you call?
You leave tomorrow at 5? How about lunch? I'll come over around 2.
I can't believe you're leaving me alone with a horse and buggy.
But Big's potential embarrassment of being married twice is not Carrie's problem to deal with, it's his. He clearly has more than enough money for a therapist to help him work through his issues.
I didn't know that was even an issue. Why didn't you say anything sooner?
You wanted all of this.
Well, yeah, but don't you
I
want...
want you. That's what I want. I could have just gone down to City Hall.
She's not beautiful, and we don't have a lot in common. All I know is that she's not the right woman for me in the larger sense, so I keep her a secret.
So with her tail tucked between her legs, Carrie actually says,
I think it's too late for City Hall now.
meaning that if it was possible, she was fully prepared to undo everything, return that gorgeous dress from Vivienne f***ing Westwood to sender, shrink the guest list down to just 3 people, her, Big, and Jesus, and also unbook the location just to make him happy. Big is
a piece of garbage.
They never resolve anything and clearly aren't at least going to couples counseling, so although Carrie is visibly distraught, Big makes it seem like he didn't mean to make her feel that way, although I'm not sure how she was supposed to feel when he's basically telling her that he doesn't think their marriage is worth all of this hoopla.
You're a great man, friend.
How? Ignoring this glaring red flag, these 2 miserable mutes proceed to their wedding party where Big makes 0 effort to shut up a belligerent guest that he works with.
So I'd like to make a toast to the groom.
There's a word he's heard before.
Carly's partner at the front.
You know what they say, 3 times the charm.
Hey, dickwad!
Shut the f*** up!
Yay, her future husband, everyone, not even defending their relationship. In the midst of Carrie and Big's developing tragedy, Miranda, who reluctantly moved to Brooklyn for Steve, bought the house that they live in, and became Steve's mom's nurse for free at the end of season 6, is delighted to find out that her husband cheated on her for not being available enough for sex.
I hit with someone else. I'm still a piece of garbage.
And because this movie is low-key misogynistic, Steve is somehow meant to be sympathized with because his wife works too much.
Where is the waiter with the check?
Miranda, relax. Magda hasn't even finished yet.
I still have a brief to work on when I get home. Well, you don't also have a 5-year-old, and playdates and PTA meetings, and a mother-in-law in a rest home with advancing Alzheimer's. I forgot to wax. I've had other things on my mind.
This one's married and she's not growing a national forest. Any thicker and you won't be able to find it.
So what? It's my fault? I let this go out of my marriage? I deserve what I got? Thanks for understanding.
And has no time for affection, but how the else are they gonna afford everything?
I go to the bathroom.
I'll take him.
Thank you, Magda.
I'll take him.
Thank you, Magda.
And look, I know the Steve Crusaders are ready to roast me in the comment section saying, but Steve owns a bar. He's not broke. Yes, but Miranda is very obviously making more than him because she's a lawyer. Her job is way more stable than Steve's most likely fluctuating cash flow. And there is no way that you're going to convince me that his business did not suffer during the pandemonium.
Hey, Miranda. You know, the bar's not doing so hot this month. You think I could borrow,
How much, Steve?
You think I could borrow 20 grand?
Steve, again? Miranda sees Steve after the party and is so angry at herself for allowing him to ruin her life that she tells Big,
You two are crazy to get married. Marriage ruins everything.
And with that frustrated declaration, Big finally has the excuse he needed to not follow through with marrying his on and off girlfriend and backup plan of a decade. Carrie can tell Big is in a bad mood when she sees him.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm just tired, I guess.
Clearly disappointed that she isn't a brunette, he lies about being tired before Carrie has her final single sleepover with the girls. True to form, Big immediately ruins it because remember, he has boy radar and can tell when Carrie is happy.
I'm sitting here trying to write these vows. Is this something we really want to do? Did you want to get married?
She leaves her friends and tries her hardest to talk Big out of standing her up, but when the call is over, she knows it didn't work. Also, don't you love how Big waited until the very last minute to do this? Alright, so now it's the day of. Carrie looks amazing, and I know a lot of people may not like the dress or the bird accessory, but I personally think she ate this up. Big, on the other hand, is about to unlimited bricks in the limo because he can't reach Carrie. Lily also doesn't want this dumpster fire to commence, so she hangs up on his ass.
Hello?
Could you put Carrie on the phone, please?
Child. Anyway, so.
Hello?
Carrie arrives 20 minutes late. However, Big is nowhere to be found.
He's not here.
Who's not here?
The groom.
But we're 25 minutes late.
Carrie desperately searches for an ancient enough phone to use to ring Big since she can't find hers. Thanks, Lily. And then this happens.
So what's going on? Where are you?
I just left.
Bruh.
I can't do this.
Bruh. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Okay, I know some people are going to think that Carrie overreacted here, but considering all of the telltale signs from the previous few days, I don't think she did. Besides, what was Carrie supposed to say upon hearing that? Why does she need to convince her fiancé, the one who even brought up marriage as an option, that it's okay to marry her? She already did this the night before?
This is me you're marrying tomorrow.
Yeah,
It's me and you. Go to bed and in the morning?
you'll know what to do.
Exactly.
Okay, good night.
It's me and you.
Carrie's BSOD flares up for the umpteenth time. Big has disappointed her in the worst way possible, but unlike the other times, she can't just go back to her apartment and hide out indefinitely. Oh no. First off, she has no home because she sold it, and apparently not even for that much.
Your apartment sold so fast. It's a sign.
Yeah, it's a sign I priced it too low.
To feel like the apartment that Big purchased was hers as well. She had a spread in fucking Vogue about her upcoming nuptials. She rented out the New York Public Library and now has to face the embarrassment of Samantha telling them all to go home because the punk-ass groom got cold feet. The worst of all, she allowed John to upend her entire life just so she could legitimize their relationship after one whole decade.
I knew you would do this! I
I am humiliated.
John is
a piece of garbage.
The fallout from such a huge embarrassment cripples Carrie completely.
Now I have nowhere to live. Oh, my clothes. I can never go back there again. How am I gonna get my clothes?
You have your honeymoon clothes here?
A honeymoon that's prepaid on my credit card because I wanted to surprise the man who jilted me.
Don't you just love how she's still the only one going above and beyond for this trash relationship?
We can make this work. If things get really bad, then I'll move to Paris for a while and write Los Angeles City. You can't slink out of town this way. We have to do it up right. That night, after the rain, after the dinner, after the dancing, I took Big for a ride. I'm Candy. You're a candy striper.
Happy anniversary.
Very nice.
It's vintage. It's engraved.
Since Big hasn't put in any effort outside of calling her phone multiple times, the girls step in to help put Carrie back together.
Mexico? Here we come.
They drop everything and accompany her to Mexico, including Miranda, the friend who actually has to work every day because she's the breadwinner in her family.
You have Wi-Fi? Thanks.
Her extreme depressive episode lasts for days and renders her bedridden. She doesn't even eat until Samantha literally has to feed her. This is sweet, but you know SJP probably snuck this into the script to further stick it to Kim Cattrall. Yeah, that's right. Feed me, bitch. Because women are more reliable than men, it is Miranda and Samantha who helped put Carrie's life back together. First, by getting her old apartment back.
I just got an email from your buyer's attorney. They're willing to sell you back your old apartment at the escalated price.
Then, by getting her clothes out of Big's apartment. And then Charlotte successfully gets a laugh out of her by accidentally crapping her pants. Carrie moves back to her apartment and hires a assistant named Louise, played by Jennifer Hudson. True to Big's low-effort bullshit, he's been emailing Carrie nonstop.
Delete.
Oh, but the universe is not done rubbing their failed nuptials in her face just yet. Remember the Vogue article?
The wedding of Carrie Bradshaw and John James Preston was canceled as this issue went to press.
Bradshaw is still single and living in New York City.
Look at this! Oh, Carrie, I saw you in Vogue. I'm so sorry.
Trick or treat!
There I was. Carrie Bradshaw, dying of embarrassment.
The embarrassment catches up to Carrie so badly that she actually transforms into Big's type. While she and Louise are finally unpacking Carrie's closet, another stab to the heart occurs when her wedding dress accidentally reveals itself. She and Louise get drunk and bond while lamenting their past ancient lovers. We see the girls spending their New Year's Eve in various ways. Nobody is alone, as although Carrie and Miranda are both unpartnered, Carrie ran to Miranda's, even getting on the subway to meet her so they weren't by themselves. Charlotte and Samantha are with their respective loves, and Big is literally by himself, eating a steak.
I can kiss these goodbye.
And stoically drinking wine in an obvious attempt to speed up his inevitable heart attack, as he is completely alone, having no friends, no family left, and having ruined every single last one of his relationships.
It's what she deserves.
Carrie is finally starting to return to homeostasis after attending a fashion show and having the Fab Four reunite after Mexico. But she backslides a bit during Valentine's Day after reading the Vogue article. Why? Because she's literally gaslighting herself and blaming the entire failure of their wedding on her and not the emotionally abusive man baby who suggested they get married only to punk out the day of.
I deserve what I got. Believing that I'm finally getting my happy ending. And Miranda, in that article, I did not say we once.
It was from your point of view.
Yeah, exactly, my point of view. I let the wedding get bigger than Big. I am the reason that he did not get out of that car.
Miranda then finally admits something that she was holding in.
I said something that I shouldn't have at the rehearsal dinner. After Steve showed up, I was really upset. And I bumped into Big. I said that you two were crazy to get married.
Carrie's BSOD returns, this time to rage out on Miranda when her intended target is actually the motherfucker who jilted her.
I have been going over over this and over this in my mind for 5 months. You ruined my marriage.
That is not correct.
I have never kept a secret from you. No, I'm lying. I've been thinking that it is a huge mistake that you left Steve. There. How does it feel?
I'm still a piece of garbage.
And just like that, Carrie and Miranda got into their second huge fight. Over Big. Not even their friend fights past the Bechdel test. Come on. This movie really did Miranda a disservice, I'm telling y'all, because if the shoe was on the other foot and everyone wanted Carrie to forgive Big, she would have blown a gasket, and everybody would have immediately apologized. But Miranda, who sacrificed everything for Steve, has to just get over the fact that he cheated on her because it's her fault she works so much and it's better to be with a husband you can't even trust than to be single.
How is Steve handling this?
It's just one time. Anyone can have a slip.
You really can't forgive him.
It is a huge mistake that you left Steve.
It's my fault. I let the sex go out of my marriage. I deserve what I got.
You won't even consider forgiving Steve for something he did 6 months ago. Well, maybe he's sorry.
Well, maybe so is Big.
I thought this was supposed to be a feminist work. Miranda and Carrie make up because their relationship is actually somehow stable enough to withstand a few hiccups. Then, after Carrie guilts Miranda into forgiving Steve, they eventually reconcile.
I never meant to hurt you. You have to forgive me.
You have to forgive me.
You badger me to forgive you in 3 days, and you won't even consider forgiving Steve for something he did 6 months ago.
It's not the same thing.
It's forgiveness.
Woohoo. I'm sure nothing will happen to them in the future.
I've met someone.
Carrie is still slowly returning to her normal self, having redecorated her apartment and resuming her casual ridicule of Samantha, this time for having what looks like period bloat.
I say this with love. How could you not realize it? What's your gut tell you? And Samantha, that pillow cost $300.
And you're really surprised that she doesn't want to work with you again? You clown her with the script.
If I had a son, I'd teach him all about the vagina.
If you had a son, we'd call social services.
So, Samantha, tell me, did you ever get it on with that old coot?
No! What kind of shit is that?
Have you any idea how much perfectly fine semen that is?
Samantha, rough estimate?
I know he loves me. I believe he's sorry, and I believe he'll try his best.
How about this for a column? Desperate women who will believe anything.
Do you kiss after a blowjob?
No, she just signs the delivery slip and sends him on his way. This is Samantha Jones, beekeeper. You look like beef carpaccio.
Women shouldn't have to hide in the shadows because they've had cosmetic surgery.
Wear a ribbon and make that political statement elsewhere. This is my party and you're scaring people.
I've had a chemical peel.
And she's not afraid to say it. Can you call me from a cab? I love you, but your face.
I wouldn't have gone out in public like this for anyone but you.
I know, and I have to live with that.
Can you hurry? I told him to come up about half an hour.
She figured a box in the hand was better than one in the bush.
I'm Bozo the Bush.
Oh, to hell with it. That's better.
She just learned the word no.
Oh, well, good for her. We're hoping that Samantha learns it one of these days.
Terrible twos.
Men and women do not embrace in public in the Middle East.
No. She's talking to you, sister.
Hanji. It means yes.
Hanji.
And not the best word for her to learn.
Condoms! Condoms! Yes!
Later, a very pregnant Charlotte sees Big at a cafe and immediately leaves because she can't stand the mere sight of him for what he did to her best friend.
Charlotte. Carrie, hold on. Wait a minute.
Wait. What? What is it?
Charlotte, don't run. You're pregnant.
I'm so mad at you! I was always on your side. Then you go and you do that to Carrie.
I was supposed to tell you were born.
Oh, okay, so Lily didn't kill Big, Charlotte did. After denouncing his very existence, she goes into labor because, irony, Big actually helps Charlotte get to the hospital despite taking a shopping bag to the face first. And because she's a type, Carrie eventually gets to rejoice in Rose Goldenblatt's arrival. Harry spills to Carrie that Big showed up and then left, despite knowing that she would eventually show up to see the birth of her best friend's daughter.
He asked me to ask you to call him. I know, it's none of my business, but I felt bad for the poor schmuck hanging around the hospital waiting room hoping to see you.
Carrie begins wondering why Big would tell Harry he's writing to her if he didn't, as physically writing letters would indicate some level of effort.
He said he's been writing you, but you never responded.
No, he's never written to me.
Why would he say he had?
Eventually, she realizes that he's been emailing her love letters that other people wrote from that book that she was reading earlier in the film.
There he was. And because Big still didn't have the words, he retyped a love letter from Beethoven and Lord Byron and John Keats and Voltaire.
Babe, it's called copy and pasting.
It's almost hurtful to me to watch her be so dumb.
Her former assistant, having fulfilled her job and returning to St. Louis to marry a man who literally told her this.
He said he loved me and all, but he didn't think that I was the one.
Lets her know that those blue Manolo pumps are still sitting in the Fifth Avenue apartment unclaimed. Carrie immediately leaves to go collect them, but
It wasn't logic, it was love.
Bruh. Okay. You mean to tell me that this man, who you allowed to string you along for years...
You string me along for 2 years and then you marry some 25-year-old girl after only 5 months? This has to stop. The flirting and the jerking me around. You cannot do this to me again. You cannot jerk me around.
who used you as a side piece while he was dating the woman he eventually married.
If you gave me a key, I could wait upstairs next time.
A key?
What's this?
Oh, just a few things you left at my place.
You're a half hour late. Your doorman thinks I'm a hooker. I'm out of here. That Japanese businessman thinks I'm a hooker.
Who lied to you about why he got divorced.
What happened?
Alienation of affection followed by divorce.
And you don't even give me any details. You don't even tell me why you broke up.
I cheated on her.
Who flirted with other women in front of you.
My New York guy was still seeing other women.
Oh, listen, my editor called me today and she's... Excuse me, you can't smoke that in here.
You're absolutely positively sure about that? Because I checked the zoning on this particular table.
Hey!
Who pissed you off so badly that you had to knock him the f*** out.
Carrie! Oh, are you all right?
No!
Who never directly does any nice gestures for you.
Great, listen, I just wanted to call and thank you for the flowers.
Well, you know, my secretary had it on her calendar, so I.
Can't believe you actually got out of the car and got balloons.
I didn't. Raul did.
Have you ever written me a love letter?
Does a love fax count?
Who literally waited until the last minute before he told you about his plans to move to Paris.
I may have to move to Paris.
How long have you known about this?
It's been in the works for a while.
Who literally...
Again!
Waited until the last minute to tell you he's moving across the country on a different occasion.
I'm moving.
When?
Monday at 5.
If I hadn't happened to call tonight, you were just gonna quietly go away without telling me?
Who fled from you giving a damn about him when he had heart surgery.
Hi, can I please be connected to room 817?
That patient left the hospital this morning.
Who played like he wanted a relationship with you once he thought he was about to croak.
Seriously, kid. You and me, the early bird special.
And then immediately reneged once he felt better.
How you feeling?
I feel like myself again.
Get your motherfucking hand out of my face.
Who always managed to reappear to cause you more emotional harm when you were happy without him.
And just when I thought I was safe.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm downstairs. If you don't come down, I'm coming up.
And then everything I so firmly believe was promptly blown to pieces. I was off for our version of the Last Supper.
Who doesn't want you to have half ownership of the home you'll both live in.
I want it to be ours.
It is ours. I bought it for us.
Who suggested getting married as an afterthought.
Did you want to get married?
Why? What, do you want to get married?
I wouldn't mind being married to you. Would you mind being married to me?
Who didn't even ask you to marry him formally. Who doesn't want you to have a nice wedding because it'll somehow make him look bad.
200 people? Page 6? This is my third marriage.
Who didn't even respect you enough to show up to the wedding.
I just left. I can't do this.
Who has cost you so much money.
honeymoon at a romantic Mexican resort that's prepaid on my credit card because I wanted to surprise the man who jilted me.
I just got an email from your buyer's attorney. They're willing to sell you back your old apartment at the escalated price and are willing to vacate by the time you return, pending an additional financial offer.
Now let's work on getting your things there.
Carrie, call me.
Force you to hire an assistant to help sell you back into singledom, cause you to change your appearance to avoid public embarrassment, forced your friends to put their lives on the back burner, some of them missing work or having to take work with them in order to preserve your well-being from such a traumatic event.
Jared. Smith Jared with a J. That's right. Great. Thank you. You have Wi-Fi? Thanks.
I wouldn't miss you reciting Love, Glove, Dove in front of all of New York for anything.
His forever was as simple as her smile.
I want you to know my friends better.
Okay. You mind if I don't go? Oh, I can't make your party tomorrow.
Oh no, I wanted to introduce you to some of my friends. Big's heart was finally open.
Excuse me.
Big's heart had closed again.
And who put in the most minimal, basic effort to get back into contact with you. You mean to tell me you still love him after all of this? All he had to do was show up, hold a pair of shoes that she bought on the last day before the place was sold, and still was able to be forgiven? Y'all, men have it so good, and they still have the nerve to complain. Somehow, Carrie even apologizes to Big for what? I have no idea.
Why did we ever decide to get married? I have to be smart here. We're not married. I'd have no legal rights to this home.
I guess we were afraid it would mean something if we didn't.
That is not correct.
I'm sorry to have done that to you.
I'm sorry to have done that to you.
Sorry you wanted him to actually follow through with the wedding that his dumbass suggested?
Carrie Bradshaw. Love of my life. Will you marry me?
Are you f***ing dumb?
Then Big takes the shoes that Carrie bought and proposes to her with them by helping her put one on. Carrie had to put the other one on by herself. That's all the energy Big has for her.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
So they get married at City Hall, which is what Big wanted. Do y'all know that there is a Bridezilla's episode that pretty much directly mirrors this situation?
It had been an hour since the wedding was supposed to begin, and there was no sign of the groom.
There will not be a wedding today. We're going to leave to go to Las Vegas and go ahead and get married. We're going to leave to go to Las Vegas and go ahead and get married.
Despite suffering the greatest humiliation of her life, Anita married Dion in Vegas the very next day.
I love the fact that we got married in Vegas. I would have spent all that money on that wedding if I would have known he wasn't going to show up. From what every single person has emailed me, people around the world, and any other woman that I talked to said that they would not have married him. It worked out well because, she got the big wedding she wanted to, even though I wasn't there, and I got the small wedding I wanted.
Dion have been married for over 2 years.
It really hurts my heart that there's women out there who are so desperate to not be alone, despite how peaceful they know it is, that they will put up with any bullshit from a guy who clearly doesn't love them just to say they're married, they got a ring, or were chosen. And this doesn't discriminate. It doesn't have an age limit or race, and it doesn't matter what your socioeconomic status is. This can literally happen to any woman who allows it. Big always gets his way, so Carrie laments her friends not being there since Big wants 0 witnesses of their union, but he surprises her by allowing them to come through afterwards.
So you're okay that it was just us?
You and me.
Still, it would have been nice if you had the girls here, which is why I called.
Okay, if my girlfriend kept crying and whining to me about her ain't shit man who did all of that to her and then still took him back after I literally helped her pack up her entire apartment when she could have used movers.
It took 4 cuts, 3 days, to put 20 years into 38 boxes.
Skipped work to be there for her,
Mexico? Here we come.
I can't go to Mexico. I have a job.
After she me out for something I said that triggered her dipshit man's on-brand behavior.
I said that you two were crazy to get married.
You ruined my marriage.
I would've got no contact. Like, apparently this man is worth losing your sanity, your friends, and your entire life over, so have at it and go cry to someone else when he eventually drags you through the mud again.
It wasn't a fancy designer, just really impressed. As I surveyed the room, I realized it smelled like a cheap date you don't want anyone to meet.
Yeah, we know, Carrie. Big doesn't want you to have anything nice. The film ends, and I guess it's supposed to be a happy ending, but anyone with common sense knows it's not, and that this is literally the sunk cost fallacy in action. So, even though Carrie is most likely the laughingstock at Vogue and tarnished her brand, possibly even affecting her book sales, because who the hell would take any relationship advice from someone who married the guy that jilted her, she and Big are 2 years into wedded bliss. Now, they're attending another wedding, or as Big puts it,
Gay wedding, gay wedding, gay wedding, gay wedding.
Will you please stop referring to this as a gay wedding?
Because weddings are clearly only for straight people to desecrate, according to Eyebrows. True to his nature, he wastes zero time in clapping cheeks before the big event, as she is Stanford's maid of honor.
I have to be there in an hour.
Y'all notice that Big just loves to screw Carrie either figuratively or literally right before she has something important to do?
You know, I don't have time for this. I have a deadline.
Where are you going? I have 2 book readings this morning before I head back to New York.
Not so fast. Come here.
Now?
Can I talk to you?
I'm late for dinner with the girls.
He then gets hit on by one of those gay people at this gay wedding.
Have a nice night.
You have a nice night.
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk.
Okay, we're gonna put a pin in this for later. Of course, it feeds his already undeserved, humongous ego.
That guy just hit on me.
How's it make you feel?
Like I still got it.
You don't have it! You don't have it!
Carrie meets one of the few fans she has left who proudly announces that she has the same dating life as she does.
I've been reading your books for years in your column. I swear we had in your column. I swear we had the exact same dating life.
That's really not good. Did this guy begrudgingly marry you too after 10 years of avoidant behavior? However, the gushing immediately stops when she learns that Big and Carrie aren't planning to breed or adopt, which is probably the wisest decision that either of them ever made, considering that they are extremely dysfunctional and would probably have their kid in therapy 8 days a week.
You guys have kids? If you need the name of a surrogate service, ours was flawless.
Oh, no, thanks. It's not a surrogate situation. We're just not having children.
You don't want kids?
It's just not for us.
So it's going to be just you two? Well, have a nice night.
Jeez, what a weirdo. While Samantha is getting her back blown out by Anthony's brother. Samantha loves someone's brother, I see.
Who's that hot straight guy with Carrie?
That's Anthony's brother, Nicky.
This is my wonderful brother, Wesley.
My brother? You slept with my brother?
This is my brother.
Big and Carrie are watching an old movie in bed. We're gonna put a pin in this for later as well. After Big is done drooling over Charlotte's braless nurse, he and Carrie return home. Here, we begin to see their 10-year age difference on full display because Carrie still has truckloads of energy to go out every night, while Big is probably a few years away from a Viagra prescription and just wants to stay at home and chill.
It's 4:30. Where should I make reservations? Any cravings?
Let's just order in.
We ordered in 2 nights last week.
Let's just stay home.
Okay.
Carrie also starts to nag Big, although some of her gripes are understandable.
Excuse me, what the actual are you doing?
You know you have your shoes on the couch, right?
Other than this, Carrie and Big seem to be smooth sailing. During their anniversary dinner, they exchange gifts. This is what Carrie gives Big.
Very nice.
It's vintage from 1968. It's engraved.
Me and you. Just us two.
And this is what Big gives Carrie.
Well, I've seen the desk.
But you haven't seen what's in the desk. A state-of-the-art flat screen. And so we can lay in bed and watch old black and white movies.
Now, I know a lot of people think that Carrie was in the wrong here, but she really wasn't. Remember, Carrie makes most of the romantic overtures. She's the one who sold her place so she could be part owner of their shared home. She's the one who wanted to surprise Big with the Mexico honeymoon. She's the one who's now purchased him what I'm sure is a very expensive vintage watch that's engraved. It's sentimental and also shows that she's aware of his taste. Big, on the other hand, who knows Carrie loves clothes and jewelry and things to show off, got her a gift that ultimately serves him. Does Carrie watch TV a lot? No. Does she strike you as the type to sit in bed and watch bad movies late at night? Absolutely not. This is literally an example of weaponized incompetence. This time, however, she actually voices her disappointment instead of swallowing it like she normally would.
Come on, don't you remember how nice it was at the hotel watching it happen one night?
Yes, and it was nice because it only happened one night in a hotel.
Did I forget?
A piece of jewelry would have been nice.
In the next scene, she asks Samantha to get her and Big on the guest list for the premiere of Smith's new film.
Can you get me and Big invited to Smith's premiere?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Good. I think we need some glamour. You know, the television and the ordering in, it's just too Mr. and Mrs. Married.
Though I'm sure she's definitely told Big about this beforehand, he comes home the night of with takeout, pissed that the NASDAQ Jones Exchange Dow dropped a few feet or whatever.
Oh, don't get too comfortable on that couch. We have to be at the premiere in an hour.
Is that tonight?
Mm-hmm.
We don't go out on Mondays.
Problem?
We got a problem here? The market fell 100 points, and now I have to get dressed up and go to some Hollywood thing?
All you have to do is put on a fresh shirt.
Carrie, however, is tired of Big's half-assery when it comes to her, and since it seems like he agreed to go in advance, she literally forces him to attend. She's getting her way for once, damn it.
You go have fun with your friends.
Throw this back, we're going. I'll put on a fresh shirt.
While at the party, she complains to Stanford about how she feels like she's pulling teeth trying to get Big to put in a little more effort.
2 years ago, we never even uttered the word couch, and now our entire universe revolves around it.
Count your blessings. Remember when you couldn't even get him to sleep over?
To punish Carrie for standing up for herself and making him be seen in public with her, he immediately begins flirting with Penelope Cruz, yet another gorgeous brunette, aka Big's actual type.
We're out tonight, he could at least slap on a smile and try to have a good time.
He seems to be having a good time now.
I'm gonna be right, I'll be right back.
Every night before bed, I am on my knees praying, please God, let it stay up.
Excuse me, what the actual f*** you do?
Hi. This is Carmen Garcia Carrion.
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 Very good.
She's the senior vice president of the Bank of Madrid. This is
Carrie Preston.
Naturally, Carrie yanks his ass away and decides that she now wants to go home and be boring.
So, you were right about the catered food and the shoving.
No.
So I'm ready to go whenever you are.
I'll try to keep it up for you.
Of course, these two literally don't talk about anything until they're forced to, so when Big is in bed watching the TV that he bought for himself, Carrie lets him have it.
It's a little loud. And, for the record, that is not a black and white movie.
Big gaslights Carrie by bringing up the gay guy at the gay wedding, gay hitting on him, although it's a false equivalence because Big was the hittee and not the hitter.
When the gay guy hit on me at the wedding, you thought it was funny.
I liked the flirt. In fact, you could dial up the flirt around here a little more. I get TV and takeout guy, and Bank of Madrid lady, she gets sparkle guy.
Big attempts to gaslight Carrie again when he says this.
You're not happy in, you're not happy out.
First of all, bitch.
He is the one who isn't happy in or out. The whole entire plot of the first film was Big getting cold feet regarding making it official with Carrie, but in the least glamorous, least public way possible. And in the end, Carrie was more than happy with the breadcrumbs that he offered, even sacrificing public humiliation in her expensive dream wedding for him. So Big needs to shut his old ass up.
I don't want to be one of those married couples lying in bed, watching television, and not talking.
As much as Carrie is trying to avoid becoming the stereotypical boring married couple, bound together by guilt and or the sunk cost fallacy, it's already happened, and deep down, she knows it. Carrie leaves a note for Big to inform him that she's going to her old apartment, the one that she sold and probably had to pay double to get back after Big jilted her, so she can focus on writing for 2 days. Because they're so dysfunctional, extended time apart actually does them well, so after Carrie has lunch with the girls, Big swings by in his pimpmobile and takes her to dinner.
Hey, kid.
Big takes advantage of the 2 days Carrie spent mostly working and pitches a plan to save their already flailing marriage as she's packing for her vacation.
I had an idea I wanted to talk to you about. Remember when you took those 2 days away to finish your article? Maybe we should think about doing that every week. Hear me out. After you took those 2 days at your old apartment, I started thinking, what if I got a place?
You want your own apartment?
Yep, Big is proposing to make Carrie's one-time 48-hour absence a regular occurrence. Of course, Carrie is freaking the hell out because she thinks it's a layover on the way to divorce.
2 days, then 4 days, then what? No days? Is that where this is heading?
I feel like I'm disappointing you all the time. Did I f up?
A piece of jewelry would have been nice.
I'll try to keep it up for you.
I get TV and takeout guy, and Bank of Madrid lady, she gets sparkle guy.
Yeah, you are. All you do is disappoint her.
No, you're not disappointing me.
Why the fuck you lying?
Carrie is the one who actually manages to strike a compromise, although she's not okay with the idea.
You can't get your own apartment. That would freak me out, and it's a waste of money. You can have my old place till I figure out how I feel about this. And I can take it back anytime.
Deal.
While I like that Carrie didn't immediately outright agree to it, Big is still wrong for bringing this up literally as she's packing, which will no doubt put her in a funk during the entire trip because, again, Big always manages to ruin Carrie's good moods. She tells the girls on the plane, attempting to sell it to herself, but Charlotte can see right through it.
Big and I are thinking about taking 2 days a week apart to do our own thing. You know, he would get 2 days off to do his things, and on those same days I would do my things.
2 days off? You make marriage sound like a job.
What is it really about? Big and I are just trying to make our own rules. What works best for us, not what society says should work for us. Charlotte, we're adults with no children. We have the luxury to design our own life. We're adults with no children. We have the luxury to design our own life.
But doesn't it hurt your feelings that he would want time off?
You just don't get it.
Even though Charlotte is right, Carrie wastes no time in being condescending towards her because deep down, she knows this isn't ideal.
Garo, he's from India. His wife still lives there. They only see each other once every 3 months when they can afford it. And I asked him if that was hard for them, and he said, time doesn't matter. Each time they see each other, it's wonderful. So see, there are all kinds of marriages.
First of all, bitch.
The couple in question don't see each other often because they literally can't afford it.
Please apologize to your wife for my keeping you here all night.
She is in India. I will see her in 1 month.
So you work here and you travel back and forth?
Yes, every 3 months when I have a break in work and can't afford the plane fare.
Meanwhile, Big and Carrie regularly wipe their asses with $100 bills, and he's choosing to take breaks from her. Oh, and I love how she thinks that she's sticking it to Charlotte for saying the quiet part out loud.
But doesn't it hurt your feelings that he would want time off?
Only to reveal her true feelings about the situation later. Luckily, Carrie doesn't have to sulk about her marriage for too long because it turns out she has a repeat dummy in her arsenal to use to make Big jealous, none other than her ex-boyfriend and ex-fiancé, Aiden.
This is the best mirage that I've ever had.
Okay, did Steve tell the girls that they were going to be in Abu Dhabi or something? Because this just seems a little too damn convenient unless Aiden is stalking her. Still pissed at her husband, she agrees to go to dinner with him during her stay.
Can I take you out to dinner, just you and me?
Oh.
If you have the time. The locals say that the restaurant at my hotel has the best mara in town. They consider it rude to keep people waiting here. They also consider it rude not to call an old boyfriend for dinner.
When Carrie receives a less than stellar review of her new book, it instantly dampens her mood even further and reopens the wound that Mashiko Kakatani created in season 5.
All in all, I enjoyed spending time in Ms. Bradshaw's sharp, funny, finely drawn world where single women rule and the men are disposable. Ouch. The men are disposable? I don't dispose of men, do I? No. Well, Mashiko Kakatani thinks so, and I always agree with her.
And on, one by one, she lampoons the traditional wedding vows. Until the talented Bradshaw is better able to grasp the complexities of married life, she would be better advised to explore the vow of silence. I should have just stuck to writing about what I know, being single.
But you're not.
No, I'm married and Big wants 2 days off. I thought you both...
Charlotte, you in danger, girl. Carrie prepares to go out with the man she treated like garbage on 2 separate occasions and runs into the girls.
Hi.
Hi.
Wow, you look great.
Oh, I'm meeting Aiden for dinner.
Oh, okay. We'll change our reservation to 5 then.
Not necessary, because we're having dinner at his hotel.
At his hotel?
There's a great Middle Eastern place there. Has the best, I don't know, something.
Mata mata.
Why are you having dinner with him?
We bump into each other halfway around the world? It means something.
It doesn't mean anything.
Are you serious? You have been saying that everything means something for the last 20 years, but seeing Aiden at a spice souk in the Middle East means nothing.
I think you're playing with fire.
Oh my God, now I'm playing with fire? You're crazy. Just because you're worried about your marriage, everyone's gonna cheat.
I'm still a piece of garbage.
Since she's jealous of Charlotte's healthy marriage and secretly wants Harry to cheat so she can feel better about her own situation, she wastes no time in being a complete bitch to the woman who bought her apartment. Carrie floats away unchecked on to have dinner with her permanent second choice. During dinner, Aiden admits that he, along with his wife, has been keeping tabs on Carrie, signaling that he is now the big in this relationship. Apparently, it's contagious.
I already knew you were married.
You let me go through all that.
Yeah, my wife showed me something on the internet. You know, she always kind of kept one eye on you, the one that got away.
Anyone else think that he only married Kathy because he got her pregnant? Aiden continues flirting with Carrie until he ultimately kisses her.
You look good. You look hot.
You are getting me rock hard.
Bruh. Oh, here we go again.
Carrie finally comes to her senses and leaves, waking up all of her friends to announce that she did the thing she wasn't supposed to do that she said she wasn't going to do.
I kissed Aiden. I played with fire. In here.
Samantha! I'm taking a bubble bath!
I kissed Aiden.
Get out. Big's here. I need to have sex.
After Samantha advises her not to inform Big of her indiscretion because it was just a kiss and because she already kept an affair from him in season 2.
I love you.
All right, you know I do.
Hey, good morning.
What is it?
She immediately tells Big that she kissed Aiden.
I went to the spice market and I ran into Aiden. We decided to have dinner. When we went to say goodbye, we kissed. I feel awful.
I'm at work, Carrie. I have to go. Goodbye.
It takes her a while, but she finally admits that, yes, Charlotte was right. I love how Charlotte doesn't say a word until Carrie apologizes to her.
And I'm sorry for that thing I said about your marriage earlier.
And then Charlotte apologizes?
I'm sorry, too, for having an attitude about that 2-day idea. I think there's really something to it.
Carrie's main character syndrome will never fail to piss me off. Because SJP and MPK hate Kim Cattrall with the fire of 1,000 suns, they reduce her character in the film to a sex-crazed buffoon in the most cartoonish fashion.
I just think marriage is 2 people, night after night, sleeping in the same bed.
You have 4 people in your bed.
I've had 4 people in my bed.
Lawrence of my...
Thank you.
Ooh.
Which ultimately ends their trip early.
Samantha was arrested for having sex on the beach. She's at hotel security and she needs a lawyer.
That sneaky bastard has canceled the meeting and he wants us to pay for the room from now on.
The charge is $22,000 per night.
Let him sue me.
The punishment for not paying your hotel bill in the UAE is jail.
What time is checkout?
In precisely 1 hour.
Side note, this is the third time Samantha's ridiculous behavior prematurely ended the girls' good time.
Someone stole my fake Fendi.
Are you sure?
I put the bag down beside me, and when I got up, it was gone. Oh my God. That bunny's got my bag. All right, give me my bag.
Excuse me.
You stole my bag.
This is my bag.
She says it's her bag.
Apparently, one nod from Hef and the pool party was over.
I am Annabelle Bronstein.
And she's British.
As I was saying, dear sir.
Bruh. I'm fairly certain you are not Annabelle. I've spoken to her on the phone. I'm sorry, but I know for a fact that Annabelle lost her card.
I thought I did.
Carrie, in an extremely rare moment of self-awareness, actually says this on the way back to New York.
Do you have anything to declare? I'm a mess.
She returns to an empty apartment and Big ghosting her for a few days, probably hooking up with the Bank of Madrid lady to get back at Carrie.
John? No Big and no TV. Hi, it's me. I'm home. Where are you?
Big finally comes back home after he's finished cheating on her and gives her a guilt gift, a present.
Hi. Where you been all day?
Walking around.
Where you been all day?
I was walking around.
Just so you know, that really tore me up.
I'm sorry.
This is your punishment.
Big actually has the gall to tell her that she never wrote any vows for him, although she absolutely did, but then the wedding never happened because his dumbass didn't show up.
Dawned on me when I was walking around out there that while you wrote a funny book about vows, you never actually wrote any vows from you to me.
Oh, I did. But then that wedding never happened.
Because we all make stupid mistakes.
Big reducing such a traumatic experience down to a stupid mistake makes me want to come through the screen, cut his soon-to-be useless dick off, and feed it to a pack of feral dogs. But like I've been saying, Carrie is nothing if not persistent and delusional. So although she definitely would have needed extensive therapy and a Lexapro prescription after such an egregious embarrassment, she also acts like it wasn't that big of a deal.
You were saying vows.
And since Big is a controlling ass, he presents her with some vows that he wrote for her to give to him. I can't stand this man.
I took the liberty of making up some vows for you. Repeat after me. I will never kiss another man other than my husband.
I will never kiss another man other than my husband.
I will stop worrying about being a boring old married couple because we never will be.
I will stop worrying
child.
about
Anyway,
being
so
Big gives her a gift that he literally could have just given her for their anniversary instead of that stupid television that ain't even that big. But now that Carrie has proven that she can be just as slippery as he is, now he feels like he needs to step it up. Again, this is supposed to be a happy ending because although Big most likely actually cheated on Carrie as soon as she revealed her major minor slip up, he has enough money to smooth it over and continue acting like their entire relationship isn't a complete farce. The movie ends with the two watching an old movie because, again, Big always gets his way. We return to the ghastly dregs of the panorama, which sees the girls minus Samantha meeting up for lunch.
Where's the fourth musketeer? Where's Samantha?
She's not with us.
She's in London.
Carrie just sat down, but when she hears that Miranda, this Miranda.
Wife's on the phone.
You told me you were divorced.
I'm really separated.
No, we're really separated. Hey, I don't need to be lectured about science by a man who's doing crop rotation on his forehead. Do not follow me. What are you, crazy?
Is picking up her teenage son's used condoms.
I stepped on a used in Brady's room this morning. Wait, I was barefoot at the time.
She desperately wants to go back home to Big.
I stepped on my son's...
Now, where is that darn wait person with the check?
We haven't even ordered yet.
Oh, I know, but I want out now.
bitch, me too.
Carrie returns home with salmon for Big to prepare as they continue with their ritual of listening to records while making dinner, something they began at the start of the panopticon. Somehow, being stuck in the same apartment together for extended periods of time hasn't driven them apart the way it almost did in the second film.
What if I got a place? Just a place that I can go 2 days a week, lie around, watch television, do the shit I want to do that bugs you.
So they are happily married, living their insanely wealthy, child-free lives. At the lunch that Carrie immediately wanted to skip, Charlotte asked Carrie to attend Lily's piano recital, which would have delayed her and Big's planned Hamptons trip.
You haven't RSVP'd yet for Lily's piano recital.
I can't go. Big and I are driving out east on Wednesday.
Can't you drive out Friday? Lily has been practicing for this night every day for years. And this concert, it's a very big deal.
All right, I'll talk to him. I will.
She asks if he wants to attend, but Big hates being seen in public with her.
Hey, can we wait to drive out to the Hamptons till Friday? Charlotte really wants me to go to Lily's recital on Thursday. Thank you. Do you want to come with me?
Besides, he has other plans.
What are you going to do that night?
I'll be spending the night at home with Allegra.
Oh, her again. Your Peloton instructor.
She motivates me.
Since he can't get it up anymore, at least not without medical assistance, he cheats on Carrie the only other way he can, with his younger and hotter Peloton fitness instructor. The next day, Carrie heads off to the recital while Big, cosplaying Archie Bunker, takes what will eventually become his final gaze at his long-suffering wife.
Do you notice anything special?
Nope. Bruh. I see the wedding shoes.
Before they head to the Hamptons, Big wants to virtually cheat with Allegra, so he begins his workout while Carrie is watching Lily eat up her recital.
His music touches me ever so. I fear that my tears might stain my petticoat.
But because Lily is the catalyst of misfortune when it comes to these two, the unthinkable happens.
Could you put Carrie on the phone, please? I've been calling you for an hour. Why haven't you been answering your phone?
Because I don't know where my phone is.
Lily has been practicing for this night every day for years.
Carrie gets home after Lily's recital and sees her husband slumped over in the shower holding his left arm. Now, the average person would immediately call 911, especially if they know the slumped over party has a history of heart problems, but instead, he and Carrie have a staring contest until it finally registers to her that his health bar is depleting. Carrie does literally everything but call 911, and she waits for him to die, pay back for the 21 years of pain and suffering that she volunteered for.
Honey, help me. Run, baby. Run. Run. Oh, God. Run. And just like that, Big.
And just like that, Peloton stock dropped 1 million points. Carrie is obviously beside herself because she made this mysterious, misogynistic, boring weirdo her entire world for the past 20 plus years. At the funeral, we learn he has a brother. Really? Did they have a falling out or something? I thought Big was basically orphaned after his mom passed. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the many perks of being a man. You can mistreat a woman for decades, stand her up at the altar, lie to her on multiple occasions, sexually assault her, and force her into an affair because you're bored in your marriage to a beautiful, much younger woman that you don't deserve, use her as a nurse, and then immediately discard her once you feel better, put in almost zero effort in the marriage once it actually does happen, flirt with Penelope Cruz in front of your wife, ask for 2 days away from her a week because of your extreme incompatibility, and yet still get a moving, sentimental tribute to your existence, which has contributed literally nothing but heartache and pain to those in the closest proximity to you.
He had a wandering eye. Wandered right over to my best friend.
I knew you were having an affair, but not in my house!
Am I the only one that remembers what he was to her?
And I mean, did she lie? Also, what's the deal with the relationship he had with his secretary? Because she's kind of giving Lil' Kim at Biggie's funeral.
No.
Even Carrie acknowledges that their relationship was struggle love personified when she talks to Che after the completion of another dumb podcast in which Bobby Lee jokes again about having sex with a minor.
Sure. So I walked down her alley, and the girl at the end of this alley looked like Natalie Portman. Okay. From The Professional. Yes, and then we went to this place at the Miami Hotel, and I make love to her, right? The moon through the curtains shine on her face. She was crying, and I felt so bad that I hollered at her afterwards. Wow. So we can get over with.
She will not stop calling me.
Well, maybe she wants her credit card back.
Nah, she's not old enough to qualify for credit yet.
I'm still a piece of garbage.
How are you holding up?
It's been a rough few weeks, but just keep reminding myself that at least we were happy. At the end, never been happier.
Yes, apparently the 19 years of struggle were worth the extremely short-lived bliss. Oh, but if you thought it was over, it's not. Big is not done emotionally spanking Carrie, even after he's been ground to dust. Now we have to deal with the will reading. She and Miranda are going through the paperwork when Big's secretary Gloria, the one who sent Carrie the flowers and probably had to remind Big of Carrie's birthday each time it came up.
I just wanted to call and thank you for the flowers. That was very thoughtful of you.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, my secretary had it on her calendar, so
stumbles upon a pretty damning line in the will.
I hereby make a bequest in the amount of $1 million to... Miranda?
Here it is, $1 million.
What's all the drama? What's the charity? Natasha?
I knew nothing about it.
In my experience, when people have unfinished business, they tend to throw money at it.
Yep, even in death, Big is still a slippery
piece of garbage.
Okay, so here's this theory that I just came up with. After Carrie told him that she cheated on him by kissing Aiden in Abu Dhabi, Big contacted Natasha, now knowing how it feels to be betrayed, and apologized to her, promising to make it up to her somehow. But of course, she most likely never replied because Natasha was most likely married at this point and completely over his ass. But he definitely intended to get her attention one way or the other, no matter how badly it would have hurt Carrie. So essentially, this was his final get back on Carrie for both not being his ideal woman and for having the nerve to cheat on him. Yep. Carrie begins spiraling again because it's Carrie, and now she wonders if Big was cheating on her and keeping secrets throughout their marriage.
Why is she in there at all? And why did he keep it a secret? He didn't even tell Gloria.
Carrie, you didn't even know that he liked frozen yogurt, that he had a dog.
Did you know Big had a dog named Gogi?
Or whether or not he jerked off.
Do you masturbate? Do you? Well, do you?
Of course he was keeping secrets from you. These intrusive thoughts reignite her disdain for Natasha, the woman who literally didn't do shit to her.
Why was he still thinking about her after all this time? And what was their unfinished business? I just can't believe it. Big's gone and Natasha's back.
Naturally, Carrie transfers her anger, frustration, and hatred from Big onto Natasha and begins stalking her.
Again?
Again.
The best way for me to just move past this is to look Natasha in the eye and have a grown-up conversation. So I emailed her. Wasn't easy. The first email that I sent bounced back. So I emailed her at 1:40 today and nothing. Nothing. Not a word. Oh, wait a minute. I just found her on Instagram. I'm gonna DM her in case she didn't get my email. Oh my God, she just blocked me on Instagram. Tried to do this the dignified way. She left me no choice. She blocked me on Instagram. I can't reach her through email.
Although this time around should have totally warranted a restraining order, Natasha instead chooses to let Carrie look pathetic.
Natasha's desk, Kathy speaking.
I'd like to speak to Natasha, please. I'm here to see Natasha Mills, Carrie Bradshaw, Preston.
Okay.
She's in a meeting.
Oh, I'll hold.
You can just have a seat.
You'll be holding forever.
Unfortunately, Natasha is unavailable today. She's in Rome. Have a nice day.
She's not in Rome. She's in that building right there. Oh my God, it's her. It's her.
Oh my God!
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God!
Oh my God.
But then, as usual, in a large city like New York, they somehow run into each other in a Starbucks bathroom, which forces them to have their final confrontation.
Someone's in here!
Oh my God, sir. Oh my God. Oh, shit. I need to talk to you.
At a coffee shop? At my job? Where are you gonna hunt me down next, Carrie? In the showers at Equinox?
I never imagined in a million years you'd be all the way up here. This isn't even your neighborhood. Yes, I also know where you live.
What do you want from me? What the do you want from me?
Come on, I mean, what do you want from me?
I'm not really sure anymore. But since you're here, do you think maybe we could just talk?
No, I am not doing this. I've already given you more minutes of my life than you ever deserved.
Carrie's plot armor kicks in after Natasha sees her crispy hand burn from the coffee she spilled on herself and offers her some ice.
Burn looks bad. You should ice it. If this is about the will, I've already told my lawyers I will not accept it. Give it to charity. Why did he leave it to me anyway? I haven't spoken to him since the divorce.
So neither of us knows?
Then, because of said plot armor, gets this totally undeserved comment from the woman who broke her face chasing after her when she caught her husband cheating with her.
I'll never understand why he ever married me when he was always in love with you.
That is not correct.
So in love with her that he stood her up at the altar? Babe, you got the write-up in the Times after the nuptials happened. She had a spread in Vogue, and they had to write in an asterisk blurb that the marriage never even happened. You only had to legally deal with him for barely a year. She spent 2 decades aging herself with his crap. I think it's safe to say that you dodged a bullet if this is what love looks like. Before this, Carrie talked to Miranda and beautifully summed up how she felt about their dumpster fire disastrous union and how even while deceased, Big still managed to remain slippery.
I'm really mad at Big. I almost forgot how I used to feel all those years ago, you know, so nervous and insecure and desperate. You know, like what we had wasn't enough. Like I wasn't enough. And I just hate that after all the good years, this is what I'm left with. He ruined our happy sad ending.
Throughout the rest of the season, despite how angry she was at him for literally placeholdering her their entire relationship, Carrie is convinced that Big is now a ghost.
Well, we should go out again.
Yeah, okay, let's do it.
I'd like to kiss you.
Good to know that his boy radar works even in the afterlife, I guess. Carrie continues grieving the loss of her ex-husband, contemplating what to do with his remains. She decides at the end of the series to wear a gigantic tan-colored ball gown with some cleaning gloves and spread them over the Seine River in Paris.
I don't want you to uproot your life and expect my mother doesn't need to meet another girlfriend. I could have just gone down to City Hall.
He's not. You want your own apartment? Do you notice anything special?
Nope.
Bye, Ashy. In the second season, once Carrie sees that Aiden is now a super rich furniture designer, and because she knows he'll be stupid enough to respond, she emails him to have dinner and they reunite once again.
And just like that.
Oh, here we go again.
And since Big is now dirtying up a river overseas, she can finally see Aiden as a long-term option the way she was never able to with eyebrows in her life. When she talks to Miranda after brunch, she actually says out of her stupid head,
I've been asking myself, was Big a big mistake?
Really? Really? You mean to tell me it only took you 20 plus years and him dying for you to realize that? You mean to tell me you didn't think he was a mistake after he left your ass at the altar? Or after he skipped town without telling you? Or after he married a woman who's the literal complete opposite of you? Or, you know what? I quit. I just do. I quit. Carrie's severe, unresolved daddy issues.
That's some outfit, kid. How you doing, kid? Hey, kid. You're gonna be okay, kid. What's shaking, kid? I will miss you, kid.
You look good.
So do you, kid. Hey, kid. Hiya, kid. I gotta hand it to you, kid. I got a good feeling about this one, kid. Well, kid, you did good, kid. I've seen the town, kid. Hey, kid. Kid.
Caused her to suffer for 2 decades, comforted only by Big's money and allegedly good D.
Was it good?
It was great.
With an X can be depressing. If it's bad,
It wouldn't be bad. When big colors, he rarely stays inside the lines.
I mean, sometimes I guess it can take a d to make you realize that someone wasn't all that while they were alive, but the show is basically all about Carrie attempting to lock this man down as some ultimate validation that she apparently never would have gotten from anyone else, no matter how rich, successful, and stable they were. In conclusion, everything I just said, thanks for suffering through this breakdown with me. It's been a pleasure. It was big a mistake. Bitch, what do you think?